God.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers,
it's been
y'all.
a fucking good day.
Cheers.
Oh, man.
And we get the Crabman in this motherfucker? Hell yeah.
The
Yeah,
three-peat.
Is there a more terrifying villain than, what's his name? Lieutenant Hans Landa?
Yeah, Christoph Waltz.
Yeah, I think for me it's the best opening scene. I know we talk about Quentin Tarantino a lot. It's the best opening scene
Hellraiser.
I have ever seen.
Hellraiser's more terrifying. He opens that fucking box. that horny
Hellraiser is
motherfucker.
weird, man.
That's a fucking creepy movie.
It gets weird.
So I remember we were, Arnold Schoenberg. We were listening to the fucking spooky shit.
Yeah.
After I listened to that, I went home and watched Hellraiser.
Damn, you was in a dark place.
It was good. It was fucking amazing.
I've never
I was
seen
uncomfortable.
Hellraiser.
You need to watch it.
Is that the one with like the pin? Like the nails?
Pinhead. It's
Yeah.
weird. I went back and tried to watch it the other day and I couldn't finish it.
Does it
It's
hold
crazy.
up?
I
Uncomfortable.
stopped
It makes you
watching. I don't know.
Is it? I mean,
It's like a
it's
weird
super sexual.
There's like a weird sexual thing going on between like a man and a woman and like the man's brother or something. It's something weird like that.
So the plot of the movie is this guy's like in, I forget what war he's in. I forget what the time it's held in, but he finds this fucking cube. He's like a sex addict, and he finds this cube that gives him access to like, it's basically like the fucking labyrinth, and he gives him access to like some of the fucking deepest, darkest forms of pleasure.
Yeah.
And so he opens this cube, and he ends up going to fucking hell with Pinhead, and he ends up getting like sucked into this fucking reality of constant pain and torment.
Yeah.
And then so this cube gets left behind, and his brother's wife, which he ended up fucking his brother's wife or girlfriend before they got married.
It gets a little weird.
Yeah.
They end up going to this house, and they find that cube because he went missing or whatever. That's when he got fucking missing, They find this cube, they open it up, and it releases his fucking soul into the room. And so in order for him to be brought back to life, she has to kill people in this room. And she is so obsessed with him because of the sex that they had. She is like sexually infatuated with him. So she lures men in while she's married into the house. Her husband lives there. She's bringing men into this room to kill him so that she can bring him back to life so she can fuck him.
So
Oh
like,
man, I didn't make it that far on my rewatch. That's intense. That makes me want to watch
So-
it again. I ain't gonna lie.
So
kinda
good, dude.
So it's just like Jumanji.
Yeah, just like that. Yeah. But like way more fucking Kama
dude,
Sutra.
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a good plot.
Yeah, I remember being a little weird, and then
creepy.
I went back and tried to watch it. Not too long. I didn't try that
It's definitely
hard.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
movie.
It
So
just
meanwhile,
felt weird.
it's probably like cutting the scenes of him getting tortured by Pinhead.
Yes.
Like while she's trying to
well,
lure guys.
well, the thing is, every time she kills a person, he becomes more human. So really, he starts off as like a fucking meat sack. Like he's like skinless, fucking like.
I need to watch this just to see how the story's told.
Is that where the fucking hooks got into his skin and ripped his fucking skin off?
all of his skin's ripped off, and he's like this fucking nasty
Yeah.
meat suit.
It
And
gets
like,
pretty brutal.
I think he like I forget what he starts off as. He's like a fucking blob or some shit. Like this fucking like nasty fucking blob of fucking
remember,
intestines and guts and shit. And then she fucks it, but he's like has like a mouth. He's like Jessica, if you go and kill these people,
I just want to see it. I
This
want to
is
see
actually
it.
wilder than I remember.
Like,
Fucking
isn't
good.
it
It's a good
crazy
movie.
when
I
you
fucking
watch
recommend
movies?
it.
It's
when
it's
you-
a cult classic for. I mean, not even a cult
fantastic.
classic, like beyond a cult classic. It's like a horror.
It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it's one of the greatest horror
phenomenal.
films ever made. Honestly.
Yeah, it's good. It's
when you
super
watch
dark.
movies when you're a kid and then you rewatch
I watched
them
that when I
as
was a
an
kid,
adult.
yeah.
Oh, what's the movie that doesn't hold up? Where you went back and watched it and you were like, "Oh, this sucks."
A movie, just a movie in general. Like a
Yeah,
horror
where
movie?
when you watched it with a kid, you're like, "This movie's awesome," and then like you,
Oh,
it's been like
man.
10 years, and you go back and watch it, you're like, "Damn, I'm kind of
Oh no,
This sucks.
I know it's Mackin' Me.
macking me." What's macking
Oh
me?
my gosh,
What's macking me?
the worst movie ever made.
Macking me?
McDonald's. I think
Oh,
it's
I'm
called
in.
Mackin' Me.
I'm in.
McDonald's
Love
wanted to
Not-
cash
not a
in
sponsor.
on this on this like heartfelt family movie genre that was booming in like
Okay.
the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
So they came out with this movie called Mackin' Me, and obviously there's so much like McDonald's like you know,
Forced on you, like advertisement,
yeah, like they're always at a McDonald's. But
and they
dude,
like always have a McDonald's fry like in their hand.
when you're a kid and watching it, you're like, "Hey, he's an alien," and then
Yeah.
but now you're watching it and you're
What
like,
the fuck is
This is so gimmicky.
"Oh my
Yeah.
goodness!" Like, why did my parents allow me to watch this?
Dude, one of the first movies, especially for horror films, that I thought was so cool was 13 Ghosts.
It's still fucking cool.
I went back and watched it. Not that good.
It's still cool. Oh, maybe I haven't went back and watched it.
Go
I
back
said it's
and
still
watch
cool,
it.
but I haven't went back and watched it.
I thought it was so cool. I went back and watched it. I'm like, this shit sucks. If it was like a 13 episode program of like each episode gets like the specific ghost and like you can kind of see a backstory of it or something.
Supernatural.
Maybe, yeah, but like I don't know if you've ever seen that, Brent. You ever seen 13 Ghosts?
No.
Really?
It's early 2000s horror
early
film.
2000s. What's the bitch's name? She was Nadia in American Pie.
Yes. You would know. You played in it.
Yeah, Jim.
You was fucking what's the dude's name?
Biggs.
Gosh.
You always
Jason
remind
Biggs?
Jason Biggs. He reminds me of Jason
His
Biggs.
name's Jason too. Funny.
Dude, it's funny how that works out, right?
Yeah, that I don't. I'm trying to think of one I watched, and
That was a rabbit hole.
It was.
what was it? No, there was one that we just recently watched. Me and Paris. I was like,
Shout out Paris.
This sucks. This isn't. Man, y'all keep talking. I'm
Me
gonna
and
try to
Gabby
think of
watched
it.
Hocus Pocus the other day. It's so fucking
Hocus
good.
Pocus.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus is good.
It's fucking classic, dude.
It
Have you
is.
watched the new one?
No.
How is it? It's good.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it on Disney Plus?
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
sure.
I'm gonna go watch it. I'll probably watch
Yeah.
it tonight.
I
I'll send
haven't
Gabby's
watched it, but I've
watching
been wanting to. Hocus Pocus is classic.
Dude,
It's
it's
a
so fucking
must-watch Halloween film.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Every
you have
year,
to-
you got to watch it every year. I feel like.
I mean, it definitely doesn't beat the original, but
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
It's hard to.
It's a great remake. I mean, not a remake, but a sequel.
Yeah, sure. That's cool.
But no, yeah, they did it pretty good. I don't remember anything forced in there. Like it was not. I mean, because
It's
Disney,
just funny, dude.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's funny with like the
it
fucking
was
bus
good.
driver, and she's like riding his
Yeah.
lap, and he's like, "Hey, you want to come back tomorrow, baby?"
Yeah.
It's like such
Yeah.
a creep.
He's a creep. And it's like, we need to get a virgin to light the candle on this day. It's like, it's a
Yeah.
children's movie.
A virgin.
Mommy, what's a virgin? Like, this is a kid's movie. You know that happened multiple times of kids going, Mommy, what's a virgin? Like, why is it so important in the film?
You sweetheart.
Dude, that was huge in the 90s.
90s.
I feel like the like virgin sacrifice. I don't know, like the Salem witch trial thing.
Yeah.
became it. I don't know why it was.
It was
like,
just
like the
that's
Scarlet
the,
Letter.
That's the
and
government
stuff like
trying
that.
to convince people to have sex.
Yeah,
premarital.
yeah.
You know what I've come to terms with is that women love serial killers, men love conspiracy theories.
Really?
Ooh, that's a good take.
That's our thing.
I got a conspiracy theory.
That's our thing.
The government is trying to give us IBS.
Oh, he's actually onto some shit. I know it sounds goofy, but
Oh no,
The
Dude.
government is trying to give us
No, no.
irritable bowel syndrome.
no. Okay,
They're trying to control us through our bowels.
he's like, I've studied this. You're right. Let me tell you.
no. Let me tell you why.
tell me why? Because I'll tell you why too.
Because the market, the more you eat, we're
Yeah.
not supposed to eat.
Oh, I'm gonna get way worse
multiple
than he's
times.
thinking.
We're not supposed to eat multiple times a day, but we're trained to eat multiple times a day. Sugar and carbs that we eat
Oh man, I'm
Make us want more sugar and carbs.
make you want more sugar and carbs.
So you intend you eat more.
But yeah, if you cut that out, dude, I could go 2-3 days without eating and be completely fine.
But is that in turn healthy? Because like I
yes,
feel like
yes, your inflammation gone.
definitely healthier than that.
It boosts your
But what if you-
human growth hormone?
Uh-huh.
Because people talk about like, oh, you're not getting enough protein. Yada. In
I
your
definitely
diet.
think it's healthy.
Like,
But is it the healthy?
Watch-
Would it be more healthy to eat like a perfect balanced
shout out
diet?
Nut Swinger, Andrew Huberman, the Huberman
Andrew
podcast.
Huberman.
Yeah, he's a
He's
smart
great, yeah.
motherfucker.
Dude, you got to watch his podcast on intermittent fasting.
Okay.
And I'm like, dude, I feel so, I feel better. Like, there's no way, doctors do not want. I know doctors don't want you to know this. You know, I know it sounds so sketchy, but
Doctors hate him for this simple trick.
But my doctor told me, because I've been getting my blood work done. You know, I got it
Uh-huh.
done before I started, the intermittent fasting thing, and then 3 months in, and then 6
And you've
months
lost
in,
103 pounds?
101 pounds.
God, you look fucking good.
And
He looked good walking out. I was like, dude.
I know. I, was,
Who
I,
was this
I would
guy?
fuck this man. I'd suck this man's cock.
Wait, what was
What?
what
Wait, what were we
last
talking
year
about? He's getting flustered. He's like, what were we talking about? Oh. Can we get a break real quick?
Yeah. No, but man, it was so. Oh yeah, my doctor said, she said if everyone only ate one time a day, I wouldn't have a job.
Huh. What if they ate an apple a day?
It
Would
would
it
keep
keep
the
the doctor
doctor
away?
away.
Oh,
I
God.
mean, he said it.
Sorry, folks, if you're
He
still
said
listening.
it.
No, but so I've been in class this week, for work.
This is not medical advice.
I've been in class this week for work, and a guy in class, he said that eating sugar-free gum gave him IBS. And I'm like, I'm gonna need you to fucking elaborate on this right now. And so he says that so there's a chemical in all sugar-free products called sorbitol. Sorbitol is also a laxative. So my buddy Ethan, shout out to him. He just met him this week. He's a buddy now. He said that he was to the point where he was like just eating gum, all day long. He said he'd probably eat like 25 pieces a day in his stomach, which is a crazy amount. That's a crazy amount.
Is he doing it to kind of like increase his need?
Does he have an oral fetish?
No.
I mean, he said he has an addictive personality. But regardless, he's like, yes, I was eating like 25 pieces of gum a day. He's like, I know it's crazy. He's like, but hang with me. And he goes, so he said my stomach was tore up all the fucking time. He said I couldn't do anything about it. He said it would be like every day off of work, I'd fucking have to speed home to shit so I didn't shit myself. I'm like, damn, what the fuck? And he's like, so I found out. He said he talked to a nurse practitioner, and they told him that sorbitol is in sugar-free products, like toothpaste. So whenever you swallow toothpaste, that's why you get the shits, because it's a fucking laxative.
I don't believe I've ever swallowed toothpaste.
But that's why kids save toothpaste.
You're swallowing some a little bit every day.
No sorbitol.
Yeah. I guess it gets absorbed.
So he says that he's like, yeah. So I was eating 25. He was like, so I talked to a nurse practitioner who was like, yeah, I don't really know what the fuck's causing it. And he's like, well, like, I mean, what are you eating? Are you eating anything crazy? He's like, I mean, not really. He's like, what about like sugar-free stuff? He's like, well, I eat some gum that's sugar-free. It's like, I mean, how many pieces are you eating a day? He's like, I mean, how many would like cause me to be sick? And he's like, I mean, like he's like a few pieces a day isn't gonna hurt you. He's like, maybe 10 a day would probably fuck you up pretty bad. And he goes, what about 25? And the nurse is like, dude, you gotta fucking stop eating this gum.
How many packs a day?
He was going through a pack every 2 days. He was eating the 50 pack of Mentos.
I feel like you don't want to do that with anything.
So
balance your life out.
So
right?
then, fast forward 2 weeks, he didn't have any of the gum. His stomach starts going back to normal. Now dairy fucks him up. He has IBS.
His stomach is fucked.
It fucked his stomach from
his
all the
stomach
laxatives.
Fucked,
basically, he was eating a fucking laxative every day.
I wonder how many years it's going to take him to recover from that.
Yeah. No.
He has like real IBS now.
Yeah, I guarantee he does.
If he had a real strict, bland diet, I feel like he could
probably recover from that.
Yeah, it's going to take time.
Yeah,
and he might not.
So he went on
not ever recover.
He's only 25. He went on a month-long juice cleanse after that.
Okay, yeah.
That might help. Yeah,
it didn't help.
Really?
He has IBS.
I'm here.
He has IBS like for real now.
I think that shit might linger into his 40s.
And so that's when I looked up. Like I found that out yesterday.
Can he have skim milk?
I don't know. He's saying apparently milk fucks him up too now. He's lactose intolerant now.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's never been. We had fucking pizza.
I think everybody's a little lactose, right? Like
yeah,
everybody gets a little gassy
it's not
when
natural.
Whole milk definitely fucks me up for sure.
It's not natural. Like we're the only, you guys heard that we're the only animals that eat other animals or drink other animals' milk.
Well, you think about this. Whenever you breast milk doesn't actually have lactose in it. It's the way we process cow's milk that has lactose in it.
God, it's funny.
So if you sucked a woman's titty, you wouldn't have any lactose in it. You're not actually consuming dairy.
Yeah.
You ever tasted breast milk?
Never.
Okay.
You ever been squirted in the eye while
jerking off?
Me neither. While fucking a pregnant chick?
Wait a second. Have you?
Nah. I sounded like I did. But
wow. I was about to be so excited.
When I said that, I was like, damn, I wish I had a story about getting squirted. Squirted.
I was so excited.
Anybody who says that has happened, I don't believe.
Are lying, yeah.
Okay, because I've heard
it doesn't work.
I have some friends who say if you have sex with a pregnant woman, you will get some like squirtage every now and then.
I mean,
I don't know.
I hope so. It's like a fucking little it's like a fucking intermission snack.
I've got a lot of experience, with.
Okay, well, yeah, you have 3 kids.
Yeah, so it just
you got titties.
It takes a lot because especially when they're pregnant, because you have what's called colostrum. Boy, I definitely think this podcast would ever. So you have colostrum, and that's like
men talking about women's problems.
Thick fat that the mother's body
is storing.
We got to go on a breast milk.
Absolutely,
let's do it. Let's go.
Okay, so that's like the healthiest fat that the baby needs when it's first born.
And she stores it in her breast.
She stores it. That's the first milk. So
some things get fucking milky.
Listen, an infant can be sick, can be like lacking a certain vitamin. The saliva in the baby's mouth whenever it's sucking will get absorbed in the mother's milk glands, and her body
will adjust
and say,
What the
it needs
fuck?
more vitamin K.
And will
put more
provide
vitamin K.
Holy shit.
Yes. Dude, it is insane how much healthier
That's it. I'm getting
breast
Gabby
milk
pregnant.
is than formula. Now,
Shit,
I mean,
I'm about to
formula
breastfeed
is
that kid
a
my damn self.
no, dude.
I'm
It is.
thirsty.
It is crazy.
That's crazy.
That, because
I'm
Paris,
hungry, mama.
Paris got COVID.
Shout out Office season 1.
Paris got COVID, and she was like, "Well, shit, I've got I'm nursing."
Is
Like,
that anything like Freddie got fingered?
yeah, like I can't. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Daddy, would you like some sausage?
No, she. So
COVID.
the doctor told her, she was like, "No, like, you know, this is when he needs to be drinking it the most because your body's going to produce the antibodies."
That is
And
wild,
I think they
man.
even asked her, would she donate some to like science?
Because they need it.
Yeah, and she said no. But
Yeah, I don't blame her.
Yeah, that's kind of strange. Yeah.
but yeah, no, I mean, there's a market for breast milk,
That's interesting.
but no, it don't work like
It's
that.
like-
How would you go about getting some of that?
Oh no, you can
Go on
probably
the
buy it
dark
on-
web right
No,
now.
no, you can probably buy it on Facebook Marketplace. Like you probably can.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you
That
buy
doesn't sound safe.
someone's on Facebook Marketplace?
No,
That's a little weird, right?
I wouldn't because I don't know people. Like if it was somebody I knew, I would like.
Someone like in a tight
collecting
knit-
random people's breast
Yeah,
milk.
I would be okay with my child
Dude,
drinking
I
somebody.
got so fucked up
that I
one
knew.
time.
A piece of tape with marker on it.
I got so fucked up at a
Happy.
wedding one time, dude. It was my buddy's birthday, and it was also my friend's wedding. So there's two separate, like my friend's not
That's a
there,
recipe for disaster.
and the wedding's happening. So I'm like, man, me and my buddy was at the wedding, and we got, dude, I was like 21, 22, which is like, I'm not really hitting my prime as far as like being able to drink. So I'm like, dude, I'm drinking like fucking crazy. At this party, we're drinking moonshine. It's this high end wedding, and I mean our whole table's full, and I'm fucked up, dude. And then I'm like, oh yes, my buddy's birthday, and we're right downtown. So like that was my plan. I was like, I'm right downtown. I'll leave the wedding, meet my buddy out. My friends, shout out Kat and Angie, hop in the car. We go driving, and we get downtown. It's like a mile drive, and I'm like, during the drive, I'm like, I shouldn't be driving.
Yeah.
This is bad. And I get there and I look at them like, are you guys okay? Like, can you find your way? Like, do you need me to? They're like, no, we're good. We're good. Okay. And then, I tell my buddy like, dude, I can't. I'm fucked. I'm like in downtown Greenville, and I'm driving home, and I'm like blackout drunk. I drive home barely. I don't know. It's one of those times where it's like you're a kid, you're doing some stupid shit you shouldn't be doing. And you just want to have a good time with your friends, but it's like you don't know. Like when you're young, you don't understand.
Consider those
You don't
consequences.
consider the consequences. You're young, man. Life's always been there for you. You know, like it's not. It's people in their 60s and 70s die, not me in my 20s. Why would I? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm driving home and I can't get home, and I'm like, fuck, I wake up the next day. I'm like, oh God, this head's pounding, and I've had so much to drink, and I look at my phone. I can't find my fucking keys in my wallet. They were in the floorboard of my car, but I found that later on. But I look at my phone, and I'm like, Kat texts me. He's like, you still got my breast milk, right? And I'm like, what? I go look in the fucking fridge, and there's fucking breast milk in there, and like this like cool ass like bag with like all these little breast milk. I'm like,
Did you drink it?
no, because if I was not hungover, I might have considered
I
it.
wonder if
But
that would cure a hangover.
oh, scientists, hit us up in the comment section.
I mean,
But I was like,
couldn't hurt.
even at my darkest point, like I when she texted me like, do you have my breast milk? I was like, fucking what? Breast
What
milk?
does that mean?
I look in there,
is
I'm
this
like,
code for something?
I didn't bring my wallet, my keys
You
inside.
think I got your breast milk?
That shit was, or my keys I did, but my wallet was out. You wouldn't know my keys. I think was,
But you brought our breast milk in.
but I brought the fucking breast milk in.
What a fucking champion.
And I didn't remember anything about.
Can
the
breast milk go bad if it got too warm?
Definitely.
Oh,
yeah,
No, I sat in the
definitely.
car for a whole day.
Oh yeah.
You ever seen Animal House with badger milk? Where it's
I
like,
forget
That's
about
not Animal House.
no, it's not. It's animal.
The Animal.
The animal.
The
Yes.
Animal.
The
Oh,
animal.
okay. I was
Animal
like-
houses.
I was like, apparently I've forgotten Animal House because I don't remember that.
Animal House 80s. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Animal's the 80s?
Yeah.
The animal,
No,
the
the
animal was like
was like
299, 2000.
Rob
yeah.
Snyder at its
Yeah.
peak.
Yeah.
Rob Schneider is a dude.
Animal
That
House
was
is like
so
80s.
good. Animal so
Steve
good.
87 or something.
Belushi.
Yeah.
Was it Steve Belushi that was in there? Yeah. Animal House where he smashes the acoustic guitar against the wall.
Fucking, what's his name?
Was that Steve Belushi? Or am I completely
Animal
off?
House?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
thought. Yeah. Yeah, that's
I
what
think
it
so.
was. Yeah.
Who else is in there though?
Oh man, I haven't seen that in so long. That's one of the iconic,
Shit,
like
that's
that's
so
up there
good.
with like
The fucking
Caddyshack.
guitar
and-
against the
and
wall is so
iconic, yeah.
God.
Caddyshack
dude.
and
I still feel
Porky's?
that way. Porky's, holy
You
shit.
could never do Porky's today.
You could never do Always Sunny in Philadelphia today.
Do you know what Saturday Night Live skit I was thinking about? Speaking of not being able to do it today, do you remember It's Pat?
I never really watched SNL.
I'm not a SNL guy.
Okay, so
I wish I
Pat-
was because I missed out on some good
listen to
shit.
this. Pat was this person that had a perm, tight perm. So like everybody had the tight perm.
Yeah.
A little heavy,
Okay.
high pitched voice, and wore like gender neutral clothes. And the name was
Okay.
Pat. So they
I'm
didn't know if
trying-
it was
so you didn't
short
know, yeah.
for Patrick or for
I'm
Trisha.
trying to think of a comp.
So like they were trying to figure out like the whole skit was them trying to figure out what
Decipher.
the gender was.
LGBTQ people, let us know in the comments who the good comp is.
But dude, I was like, dude, It's Pat will never be showed again.
Yeah.
Like there's no way.
Oh, you think it was a mockery when they portrayed like the way they portrayed it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. 'Cause they were like,
okay.
is this a guy or a girl?
Same old
Oh,
cliches.
okay.
Is that a woman or a man?
Now it's like
Bob Seger.
non-binary. Why why can't he be trinary or not? Whatever.
Trinary. I think
Wow.
that's the first.
That's good.
Trinary.
No, like-
is that a thing?
Oh, dude, there's like Facebook.
can't-
I've
look,
heard.
dude.
I haven't seen it, but Facebook. I hear Facebook has 72 different gender options. Again, I don't know if that's true or not. I have not looked this
Well,
up.
It's
you can
different
have it-
times,
Can
man.
you just have unlimited if you just had like a bot text? Just type what you are.
Okay, what's
Unlimited,
okay? So, oh man,
Well, I don't
It's
I don't feel like
Pat.
it.
know.
I don't feel like getting
I
into
don't
this.
know. This is a lot. Yeah.
Okay,
So-
I got one for you. Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's shift gears a little bit.
Okay.
I'm gonna listen. Y'all shit on your friend.
Which friend?
There, I don't know who he is, but I think you got the story. Was y'all were out, and he said that my girlfriend doesn't clean or something like that.
Oh man, I love that
Okay.
dude. Shout out. I ain't
Okay.
talked to Griffin in a
And
while. That's
then-
my boy
Shout out
though.
to Griffin.
Listen, and then you went on this spill of like, do you want a mama? Like, do you
that
do you
your
want to
mom?
date your mom?
Okay, yeah.
So my thing is,
Okay, I remember that whole.
That's
Okay,
so
I know.
good.
Yeah, I know my
So-
take on that. Okay, go ahead.
does she work?
Yes,
Okay, then
yes.
boom.
That's it.
You
That's
know,
it for me.
That's it.
She's a
That's
provider.
That's
Yeah.
it for me.
That's it.
Yeah.
Because if you getting a daddy, then I'm getting a mama.
Ooh. What's a mama?
What's a mama?
What's the job
What's
for
up,
a mama?
Oh, dude, cook and clean,
That's it.
take care of the kids.
Okay.
What if there's no kids?
Now, what if she has a job? What's the expectation then?
It's
It's
equal.
50. I
And
agree
I'm
with
not
that.
saying you can be
No,
like
I'm on-
lazy.
I'm
like
on board with this.
get me a beer kind of thing.
I think
See,
she can. You get me a beer. I mean, that's.
I mean, that's just like you do.
I'm talking
yeah.
about the stereotype.
I know
You
what you're
Give me a
saying.
beer.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I
I know what you mean, but it seems like people kind of like shit on that stereotype when, like, in reality, it's just like, hey, will you get me a beer the next time, like, they get you a beer? You know?
Yeah. Now I'm not talking about
No, I got
in
you.
concrete rules like you can't. A guy can't clean if he works and his wife doesn't.
I would
work.
gladly stay at home and clean.
There's no way.
I couldn't do it.
Oh, my
couldn't
yard
do it.
would look
I
immaculate.
would.
Yeah.
And I would be working out every day. I'd be in tip-top shape.
No, my RuneScape count would be insane.
Also that.
no.
I'd watch so many documentaries.
But you come from a more traditional background where you're like, I need to serve more of a purpose, I feel like. Like you're more, and I'm traditional with you,
Yeah.
where it's like, I have a very stoic sense of like personality, kind of like you do, where it's like, this is like, you don't take things for granted. I mean, everyone takes things for granted, right? Where it's like, you're sitting there going, you prioritize what's important, which is like, I have this village of who my people are, like what I've made, my 3 kids, my wife. I'm going to do my job to support that. And that's kind of like there's nothing wrong with like your wife taking on a more traditional role in that sense, or if she has a job, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think that, you lean more towards like you have like the old school values in you, like the discipline, the stoicism, there's something to you that I think that the new generation doesn't really have. They have more creativity than people like you and I have. I think there's no debate in that. Like the new generation is very creative, but I think what they lack in is tradition, and I think what the old
and manners.
Yes, and the old generation, the people like you and me, I think we lack in creativity.
Well, I think when you say manners, I think a lot of the young generation struggle to distinguish between when you need to show respect and when you need to not show respect. Because there is a time where, as a young person, I feel like you get disrespected a lot.
You do.
But as is the way of life.
Yes.
No, that's fine.
No, he's right. Yeah.
Both
of you are right.
But sometimes there's the older people.
The young person doesn't need respect.
No, that's fine.
The old person.
And that's where I feel disrespected.
You're both
because
right.
I feel like
you're
a lot
both
of times
right.
there are older people that aren't worth a fuck.
Yes.
I agree.
And if you're going to disrespect me, I don't fuck you.
I'm going to be honest.
I can do everything you do but better.
Oh boy.
I'm
about to get my ass beat right now.
No. I agree with both of you because I don't respect a motherfucker just because you're old.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like you, I respect you.
How old?
I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a matter. Age doesn't matter.
Oh, we're talking like 101.
It could be. I'm 23 years old. It could be
hear
24 years old for me. It could be 1 year older than me.
I need to see you be the leader that you portray. If you're that old, hit me with the wisdom. Hit me with the leadership.
I didn't.
Okay. Finish your thought.
Like you could be a year older than me. You could be a month older than me. I don't give a fuck. If you're looking down on me just because you're older than me, and like you're like, oh, I can say whatever I want to this person.
I agree with you.
I might be fucking up. That's fine. You can say it then.
Yes.
But if you're just saying it just to do it because I'm younger,
I agree.
Nah, fuck you.
Yeah.
I can do everything you can do and better.
Yes.
I'm not going to respect you at all. Especially whenever I know that I could.
That's the new generation. And
but,
I have to say they have something to say. I kind of agree with
this. That's the problem is some of the new generation struggles to distinguish between that because they think that they're being disrespected by someone that shouldn't disrespect them.
Exactly.
But they probably just need to fucking sit the fuck down and listen. To a person that probably knows a lot more than them
because they've
and is just trying to help them.
Yeah, we agree on that.
But it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to distinguish between that. Like a person that is trying to be a fucking asshole just because they can, and a person that's trying to help you. And like a lot of the young generation struggles to fucking know, oh, this guy's trying to help me. I need you to fucking shut the fuck up and listen. I don't know more than this guy. I shouldn't act like I do. And this guy's a fucking idiot. I'm not going to take disrespect from this dude.
You're 24, 23? 23. So, like, remember I can't remember which one it was, but it was the first one or the second one. I've been on here so many times.
Yeah, right? Cheers to that, dude.
Shout out to round 3 with the Crabman.
Fuck yeah.
No, one of our favorite guests here.
It was, I told 16. You're a dumbass only to yourself in the future, as it should be. So, like, the 33-year-old version of you.
Well, always look back and say you were dumb.
And like, damn it.
I've realized that
when I have dumbass. I was such a dumbass. And you said no, I don't see that. But like you will when you get to 33.
You will.
Well, no, what I'm saying is,
but you're heading in the right direction where you're at.
Like 23.
This is the best version of me right now.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
and it will get better.
I don't say that like I think I will look back whenever I'm fucking 40 or whatever. But like, man, I was an idiot because I don't know what I know now. But that's impossible. Whenever I was 13 years old, I'm not going to know what I know right now. That never is a fucking possibility ever.
Yeah.
So I can't look down on my past self. I can't say I was a dumbass. I did the best I could with
the
what
older
I had.
you get, though, like once you have to look back on your past self as like a 10-year-old, 8-year-old. We have our past selves to look back as like where you're at. So
I think dumbass is a harsh word.
That's the difference. It is a harsh word.
I think more like inexperienced. I prefer like inexperienced or.
We can look back to where like.
But you're always harder on yourself, though.
Yes.
I mean, sure, yeah, that's fine.
We can look back, Crabman and I, to where like we had a reasonable thought process. Like you look back to when you were a child because you're very young. It's like we look back to when we were 21, 22, 23. And we're like,
but what's the difference?
I think the difference is the age gap between the age you're looking back at and the age we're looking back at. I think it's the developmental stages between the two. So like you're looking back at age 10, there's a huge gap between age 10 and what? How old are you now?
Okay,
24. If we look back at it, like it's like when we still have people who we all know people who you go and hang out with them and they're the same guy that they were when they were in high school.
Changed,
yeah. So we look back and we're like,
and you see
yes,
that the choices they made on their body and like
how
much it like distance you, even financially. You know, you can just see the divide.
Yeah,
and
I
not
get that.
only physically, but mentally, too. When you go to hang out with a friend that you hadn't seen in 10, 15 years, and then, like, they still have that mentality that they had when you saw them when you were in high school, it's like, it's kind of sad.
Yeah, but, like, you can't consider yourself a dumbass. I mean, maybe ignorant. I would look back and probably consider myself ignorant.
You're always
Even a year ago.
yeah.
Like, but I don't think I was a dumbass. I think
You were learning.
I
Yeah.
made, like, yeah, but, like, if I wouldn't have made the
Yeah.
stupid decisions or bad mistakes that I made a year ago, I wouldn't be who I am right now.
Yeah, dumbass is harsh on yourself.
Well, no, what I was saying was like, so like Joe Lobby or whatever,
Mhm.
Joe, John Smith
That seems like a good guy.
or whatever. Like,
Joe Lobby.
he may be like his, 55-year-old version of himself may be dumber and less wise than the 23-year-old version of you.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
It's relative.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, maybe he doesn't deserve the respect of, like, his intelligence, but, like,
and that's my argument.
Yeah, my argument is, like, that guy, if
But,
that
like,
guy's trying to put me down,
because the 55
fuck off, dude.
And that's my argument for those.
55-year-old version
Yeah.
of you, when you get there, it's going to be there's going to be a huge gap. And the only gap separating the 55-year-old version of Joe Lobby and the 23-year-old version of you is just the age.
Yes.
Right, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
it.
And I
And,
think
that was my argument for,
and-
like,
yeah.
it's hard to distinguish between that, though,
Exactly.
and a person like if I was 21 years old and I sat down and talked to you if I worked with you, you know how much I would dispute what you say? Probably not fucking much. I'd probably sit there and listen the whole time
Yeah.
because I respect you.
yeah,
I respect
think
you
that's
because
the
you deserve
difference.
That's
respect
kind-
because you're an intelligent
Yes.
person.
That's kind of you to say.
And that's my argument is that, like,
You want a
age
job?
doesn't.
I need more of that at my
That's
work.
right.
yeah, right. Age doesn't demand respect to me.
Yeah,
And as a traditional person like you are, Brent, it sounds weird saying that because I'm a person who believes in like this elder has more experience than you. They can teach you so much, and there's so much to learn from this person. But it's like,
I think the problem is that with age comes experience.
yes,
No matter what, that's like fucking 100% given. It might be it's a different scale for everybody. It could be fucking this much experience over 1,000 years, whatever. Doesn't
you can
matter.
learn something from the dumbest motherfucker you know.
With age comes
Something.
experience, but the problem
Yeah.
is sometimes people that are older than you, they don't have the experience, and so you can't just automatically assume that they have this experience and this knowledge because maybe they don't. Maybe they're just a fucking idiot and they want to act like. And the most people that are like the most loud and obnoxious and like want to put you down are probably not the smartest people.
One
Yeah.
thing I learned is that the man who acts like he knows everything knows nothing. But the man who acts, I don't know who the quote is, but it's definitely some.
yeah.
But the man who acts like he knows nothing can learn everything. So it's like you come across as people who were like always opinionated, always.
Pause before.
Please.
Bruce Lee said, I think he was the one that said the empty cup. It's hard to fill a cup that's full. You have to be empty. Right?
That's good.
Yeah, I
That's
like
the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay.
I thought you were
Go
going to
ahead.
say I'd rather practice a kick. 1,000 kicks. One kick 1,000 times. than
1,000 wall kicks will kick a motherfucker out,
I
or
thought
knock a
you-
motherfucker out, or
I thought he
something.
was going to say I'd rather practice one kick 1,000 times than 1,000 kicks once.
No, I don't know.
I can say, yeah, that sounds like
I don't know
that,
who
yeah.
said that. I don't know who said that. Bruce
Smart
Lee
man.
said, "Be water."
Oh, it's
Be
fucking
water.
right.
Be
there.
water.
Be fluid.
Yeah.
Be able
Yeah.
to-
Yeah, I like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
But sorry, I forgot where I was going with that.
Ah, dang it! I apologize.
No,
Yeah,
no,
dude,
it's
I
okay.
know, I like it. Yeah.
Not like that.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be able to accept the fact that you know nothing.
Yeah.
If you always go into something, you got to obviously show some respect to yourself as far as like your knowledge and ability on some things and have confidence. But
But to defend you in this situation, because I can relate to you a little bit more, because our generations are a little bit closer, there is a lot of tradition that's kind of missed in the new generation to where we see it where we're like, it just seems like, and maybe this is just getting older and getting wiser, because like it seems like the people before us kind of said the same shit, where it was like, you got to work for it. You got to dig deep. You got to have those disciplines. You got to have that stoicism. You got to have that, you got to take care of those responsibilities. So it seems like, I don't know. I'm interested to see this new generation age, because it seems like they're very creative while they're coming up, more creative than I think any generation's ever been. I really believe that.
But yeah,
But I also think they lack in tradition more than any generation that's ever lived. So they tend to look away from, we're seeing it in college football. For a very weird example, college football is losing its tradition because of money, and it's because the new generation is losing tradition in everything that we're looking at, I think. So it's weird to see the new generation try to they're slowly taking over. It's about to be their time. And it's weird to see them kind of just shit on tradition as much as they are. But they're very creative. Like I said, I don't want to shit on them and not give them a positive, because I think that the people before us, and I think even us, our generation, Crabman, we're not as creative as they are now, but we do we respect the people that raised us, the older generation. So we tend to be a little bit more traditional, and times have gotten easier over the time. So the new generation has kind of had the ability to kind of be a little bit more creative. And that's when you start seeing these, you're seeing the new generation kind of pick up these side hustles. They'll work a job, they'll work Uber Eats, they'll do these cryptocurrencies. They're finding these creative ways to make money that are not traditional. And it's where are we trying to hold them back by keeping them traditional? Or are we, it's very interesting, because I think there's a lot of as we're getting older, we're getting wiser. Our generation, we're in our 30s. We try to teach these young up and comers. It's funny, they used to say, I was born in the 1990s. I was like, oh, you're just so young. And now it's if you see 1990, it's oh, you're good on buying beer. Yeah. Now it's I don't know. It's weird, but yeah, sorry, I'm kind of rambling here, but yeah, it's just the new generation is. I think there's a lot to be learned from them, and the negatives for the old generation is that they can't adapt. I'm gonna be honest; they can't adapt. We get set in our ways, we fall back to all of our comforts, and then we live inside those comforts. So it's I think there's a lot to be learned from the new generation, and I think the new generation needs to realize there's a lot to be learned from the old generation. There's a lot of traditions that are good, and there's a lot of good creative ideas coming from the new generation. Sorry, I don't mean to get on a TED Talk rant, but yeah, but I think it's just weird to see.
They don't call him TED Talk Sean for nothing.
Yeah,
right.
It's weird to see the battle between the two of the new generation, the old generation of oh, I can't believe they're, the Sean OMalley. The old heads gotta hate Sean OMalley because he's got the purple hair, he's flashy, he's got the tattoos on the eyebrows and underneath the tattoos on the face, Post Malone. The traditional people hate Post Malone, which musically I'm not a big fan, but he's a great guy.
I love his music.
Yeah, he's a great musician.
Yeah,
I do respect him. I'm not a fan of his music, but I have to say that he really pays tribute to.
He's talented.
He's a talented dude.
Yeah, he's a very talented musician.
I hope he doesn't die because he's looking rough.
I know this is a little bit of a pivot, but have you seen Jonah Hill lately?
He looks, he's
sickly almost.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
But see, I don't know if that's just how he looks, skinny and
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think he's lost weight. He's definitely got
the Brad Pitt comment.
What was the Brad?
Destroyed him.
What was that? What did he say?
They were talking on a 101. It was actors with actors.
Uh-huh.
I don't know who does it, but if it's one of those things GQ does, or
Okay.
But they were interviewing, and he said, "What's some serious actors you would consider working with in the future?"
He was asking Jonah Hill.
No, Jonah Hill was asking Brad Pitt. That.
Okay.
And he's like, or no, what's some of the serious actors you've worked with in the past? And he's like, I don't know. And then he named off, a lot of good ones, and then Edward Norton, and then he was like, yeah, Edward Norton was good. He was like, well, we did Moneyball together. He said, you said serious actors, and Jonah Hill's it killed him, and that's when he went on that crazy dyeing his hair and it was right after.
I'm gonna be
that.
honest.
You could see it in his eyes. That was the most pain he had ever felt.
Can you look up the height of Jonah Hill?
The height?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
Yeah.
But dude, that destroyed him.
I think
Jonah Hill height.
yeah,
But he's a great actor.
Jonah Hill is a phenomenal actor.
5'7".
He's actually my favorite actor, and I didn't know it.
Yep.
Because I
5'7".
he's 5'7". Okay, that's kind of helps me out here.
He looks fucking rough, dude.
Jonah Hill is 5'7".
He might be preparing for a movie though. You never know.
I hope so.
No, I don't think he is because I think that would already be out now. I think we would know that by now. You know, I think that if it was like a Christian Bale type with the Machinist, what was the name of that movie?
Machinist.
Machinist, that's it.
Yeah.
Like the Machinist, Christian Bale, like we knew prior to going to that movie that he was going to cut incredible weight.
Yeah, true.
So
if we knew a movie was
I don't think that's
out.
the case with Jonah Hill, but I do think that he does have a body with dysmorphia, I guess.
Sure.
Our body, like he's very self-conscious about
body
his
dysmorphia.
body
That's it.
weight. You know, he's been very vocal about that. But I think that at 5'7", you have the wrong angle because we all seen the pictures like he's kind of hunched over, like he's about to get in the car,
beard.
with the beard, where he kind of looks like Nosferatu or some
He
shit.
looks like a fucking crackhead.
He does, but I think it's just a bad photo.
Maybe, yeah.
Like, can we get like the Instagram photos like everyone else gets of Jonah Hill? Like, can we get the on the beach with the? I'm sure he looks like if you look at him in that photo, the shitty photo, it seems like he could possibly have a 6-pack and be like 5'7". I mean, he's gonna look small
small guy,
regardless.
But see,
You know,
it's
it's just weird to see people kind of honestly body shame the guy
he may
for losing weight.
He may have lost weight because he gained weight for that movie for the golfer. What is it? The golfer that smokes a lot. John Daly. He did the John Daly movie.
Okay, I haven't heard
He
about
did that?
Yeah, he's playing
No
John
fucking
Daly.
shit.
Yeah, and
That's
I can't
cool.
I can't wait
That's
to watch
badass.
it. Oh,
That's
dude.
gotta be fun. Oh, it
So he
hadn't
gained a
came out
bunch
yet?
of weight.
How recent did this come out?
Oh,
I
this
haven't-
is his latest movie, but it hadn't came out yet.
Okay,
But
I haven't heard about this. That's fucking badass.
Because like I was like, dude, he just lost weight. So like now, hey Jonah, we need you to gain weight again.
And it was weird.
So he may
when,
be trying to
like-
prove that he can do that.
Yeah, and maybe that is the case. It's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. But I think people was like, "Oh, he's sick. He looks like he on meth." I'm like, no.
That's why his hair was dyed blonde in Stutz. Or
Stutz. I think it's and
Stutz.
you people. I think it was
He-
still
It was
dyed
you
blonde.
people, yeah.
he was he was filming the John Daly movie.
It's
While-
a biopic.
During
Stutz-
that?
yeah.
Oh,
when
okay.
Stutz
So
was
this has been
on.
going for a while.
It's a
Then.
biopic.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Oh, it's
That'll
gonna be
cool.
good.
Yeah, Jonah Hill's a really good
He's a
actor.
good actor,
I
man.
think that it's funny because I never would have pegged him as a really good actor
Maniac.
before, but
Great one.
I think that
Watched one episode.
it
Gotta
just
finish
started
that.
with me where it was like I'm watching 21 Jump Street. Next thing you know, I'm watching Get Him to the Greek. Next thing you know, I'm watching Django where he's like in. Next thing you know, I'm watching
Yeah,
Dewey Cox. He's in there.
Ghost.
Next thing you know, I'm watching,
He's surrounded by these handsome guys, though.
he took the bare minimum just to fucking.
Playing a Martin Scorsese film.
Yes. And
Wolf
Martin
of Wall Street.
Scorsese was like, I guarantee you, he could have got paid in that film.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't, but he was like, Martin Scorsese, even at the bare minimum, he was like, this guy is worth putting in my movie, which shows you in a Scorsese film, you have to act.
Yeah.
If you
that's
can't
true.
act, you're not in the movie.
Yeah,
that's
that's
just, I mean, end of discussion, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, Martin Scorsese has been in the business forever. He's made,
Been in the
Goodfellas,
biz.
Casino, Taxi Driver. We can go on. The Aviator. I mean, if you have to act to be in his film.
Yeah.
So he's a legitimate actor, but yeah, he has lost weight. But I think
Shutter Island.
it's Shutter Island, another good movie.
Man.
Was he in that?
Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, but no, Jonah Hill was not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but Jonah Hill is a good actor.
The Sitter.
I haven't seen that, and I'm scared to watch because I don't
You've
think
never
it holds
seen
up.
it?
No, I've seen it a long time ago, and I remember it, and I remember
It's
liking
bad.
it, but I
It's bad.
haven't
It's not good.
rewatched it because I know what's going to happen.
I didn't like it whenever I watched it.
You didn't?
No, and I was like 14. I was like, this is
Ooh,
bad.
that's bad.
This is
That
a
tells
shitty
me.
movie. I
That
was like,
tells
this
me.
is a shitty movie.
Yeah, it tells me I don't need to rewatch
And I,
it.
I didn't know movies. then.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm not saying I know
And
movies
it's
now,
built.
but-
It's made for people that are 14.
Yeah, it's kind of shitty.
But yeah, I think Jonah Hill, he's definitely got like
That picture looked rough. It scared me a little
It
bit.
did, but like you can get all kinds of celebrity pictures like that where they're
Yeah.
caught off guard. Every time we see a celebrity, it's at their best. So when you see one at their worst, it becomes concerning suddenly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He seemed like when you look at him in that photo, you really like dissect him. Like the dude might have like 6-pack abs.
He's been
in
doing
that.
jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, he's like
For
it
the
seems
last
like
2-3 years.
yeah, I don't know.
What do you think of Jared Leto?
He did good in Dallas Buyers Club.
I've
That's
seen
pretty good, man.
half that movie. I haven't seen
I think
that.
Morbius sucks. I'm not a fan of his
Ah,
Batman
yeah.
or his Joker. I mean, in what's that? Fucking
Yeah, but that was a tough act to follow.
Squad.
I mean,
I think it just sucks in general. I'm not like a fan of it. I kind of try to dissociate Heath Ledger. He's
How
so
do you
good.
feel about Jared Leto?
I
30 Seconds to Mars is pretty cool.
like the one he was
Had
in,
an album?
the one he was in with Denzel Washington.
That's The Little Things.
Little Things.
It's a good movie.
That was,
I enjoyed that. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
he did a great job.
That was him and
movie.
Rami Malek.
Yeah,
Rami Malek, Denzel Washington,
and he gained some
Rami
weight.
Malek is good.
He
as
gained a
fuck.
lot of
good,
weight
dude.
for that movie.
Denzel is.
God, no,
Denzel's
he's
so good.
Rami Malek's in Oppenheimer.
Anytime, nice. That's actually makes me
Yeah.
want to watch Oppenheimer more.
Plays this tiny role. It's so good.
Yeah. Denzel is one of those actors where if Denzel is in a movie, it's worth watching.
So yeah, how do you feel about Jared Leto? You didn't really get there.
Oh no, I like him. I think he's a great actor. Yeah, I like his. Yeah, there's not a movie he's in that I don't like. You know, I like Suicide Squad.
Have you seen Morbius?
No, I haven't seen Morbius.
I heard bad.
Don't
I heard
watch it.
bad things.
It's just a bad movie.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's hard for him to save it.
Dude,
He's
you
not
know what
gonna
I
save it.
watched the other day, and I've only seen one episode,
Uh-uh.
but seeing that one episode really, I know the fucking show's gonna be good. It is The Bear on Hulu, and the lead is the guy who plays
Yeah,
Lip
Lip
and
Gallagher.
and
Yeah.
Shameless, but it is so raw.
What's his name?
He plays, and I'm not gonna ruin anything for anybody. He plays like a 5-star chef that his brother died, so he takes over a restaurant that's like somewhere like low budget New York, like maybe Queens or
Jeremy
Brooklyn.
Allen White.
And the first episode is just like the character development
It's Cinderella story.
with
Started. So the story arc
Started from the bottom.
Yeah,
Now we
started
here.
at the
But
top.
you were a guy who is, and
Went
I'm about to
down.
get here. Remind me of that. Remind me of what you're about to say. And I will agree with you. But this show is
Fucking spoiler.
no. It's not a spoiler.
No, you saying that you're gonna agree with him?
Oh yeah, probably. But this show is what is cool about the show is maybe it is very typical in your way, which is for me, I think sometimes you can get away because you've always said that there was a guy who said
Kurt Vonnegut.
there's 5 ways a story can be told, especially in Hollywood, am I right? To where it's gonna like you got like 5 ways you can tell a story that can sell to people.
5 story types by Kurt Vonnegut.
Yes.
Just anybody look it up, you can find a good video on that.
But you gotta that may be right, and I haven't looked into it, and I want to hear your side after this. Is that you got to The Bear is you got to appreciate for I have only seen episode 1, and already it's building character development. Like the character development and the characters are very rich immediately, where it's like, oh man, there's like 3 or 4 characters that I'm very excited about. In episode 1, it's chaotic. There's high tension. Yeah. It's wild. And I've only seen episode 1, so I don't know how the rest of the season pans out. But one of my buddies have recommended it to me. I went over to his house the other day, and he was like, "Dude, let me just show you. Let me put this on." I'm like, "Okay." I'm watching it. I'm like, "This is good." Episode 1, this is good. So I'm really excited to catch the rest of it. But you've said there's 5 ways you can write a story.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
It's 5. I think I think it may have been amended to 7, but it was 5.
Okay.
Like the video I watched, it was 5, and man, it's pretty damn true. But do you mean go through them?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So,
you said Cinderella story was what you said. a
No,
second
because
ago. Is that one?
I think you're onto something here, and sadly, I feel like it takes away from movies.
Well, I don't think it is that sad because I've kind of been having this urge to get back into Greek mythology a little bit, and I feel like that's kind of where a lot of that comes from. You think of a lot of fucking a lot of Greek mythology. You look at Icarus, that's a fucking perfect example of rise and then fall, And I feel like that's probably exactly where you're about to go with these. It's like maybe like rags to riches and like Cinderella. I fucking forget the Cinderella
there's
story.
always like
rise and fall. Fucking start from the bottom. You rise to the top. You start from the top. Rise to the bottom.
the Cinderella story. Yeah.
Like there's so many different examples of that, and like that's exactly what like so many different Greek mythology stories are. It's fucking those are the purest form of art, and they just followed a fucking algorithm. They've been following algorithms since the fucking first century.
That's evolution, baby.
And I mean, Homer pretty much, he kind of started it all. You could say.
Do you remember the 6 or 5?
No, it was like it's like man starts out. You really need a whiteboard to follow it.
Connect it.
But
Yeah,
so like
Charlie from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Man starts in a hole. He gets out of a hole.
Gets back in the hole.
He gets back.
It's
in
too early in the movie for him to be high.
That would be it. That would be Icarus. That would be
That's
the,
right, Rise
the
and
Icarus
Fall.
story. So Cinderella story. You start up here. Mom dies. You go down in the hole.
And you want to see the guy come back up.
Then
Because we all have been in a low point and we can relate.
And then there's the guy that falls down in the hole and then stays in the hole.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Is there a movie like that where like I know there's a movie
The
like
Hills
that.
Have Eyes.
Okay,
That's
so you
that's fun. That
Keeps
made me
going
happy.
down. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
doesn't
that's the
someone
sixth one.
someone
It
has
just
to
keeps
escape?
dropping.
Who's the survivor survivor of Hills Have Eyes? I feel
I
like
don't think did they have one?
did they?
No,
I don't think they did.
No.
Is there?
Not the
you
first
think
one.
there's some kind of fucking Kool-Aid? Like whenever you know how like people say like you go to management, you're gonna drink the Kool-Aid, and like they've got like maybe like they teach you all this different stuff. Like you can learn fucking slogans when you go to a fucking salary job, and you learn different things, and you got to do these different things and this, and like
They manipulate you.
different theories and ideas that you can use to practice on your.
They
employees.
manipulate you to manipulate
Do you think they do that in
the
Hollywood?
people under you.
Like, do you think like whenever you're like, I'm gonna make a movie,
I think it's
and then you make your movie,
beyond.
and then you go into Hollywood, and they're like, all right, buddy, here you go. Now you got to follow these 5
you know how
fucking things.
What? Well, they don't want it. I mean, like I feel like most scripts are written to a budget. I feel like that's what they're thinking about.
So they think they have their budget in mind and they write the script off the budget, or do you think they have the script first?
A good writer writes to the budget.
Okay.
They like if there, let's say 70 scenes in a movie, and well, I wish Glover was here, man. We'd have some real
man,
fun.
that would be
I
such a
was
good
nerding
podcast.
out so
Wouldn't that be an
much.
amazing double podcast?
Dude,
first,
Oh
like-
yeah. Anytime Glover's,
I want to
No,
write.
I mean like 4-person. I'm saying
Now,
like if
I
we
wanna
had-
write
oh,
something.
that would be
him and Glover.
amazing.
I
Yeah.
want. First, I want to read something that he's writing because he didn't want to get into it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, I got to get into it.
Dude, he
Like,
has sent me some stuff here lately that is
oh, nice.
yes. Well, I'll show you off air. Glover's written some stuff that is exciting.
I love because like
It's so fun.
I'm a closet writer myself.
Yes.
And
Okay. What
yeah.
makes you why do you call yourself a closet writer? Does that mean like I'm scared to put what I want out there?
Yep.
Does it,
I think it means I'm insecure because like
Okay.
my heart's into it.
and you
yeah.
don't want to put your heart on the line and have
Yeah.
it crushed.
Yeah.
It's a very opinionated time these days.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
Everybody on the
internet's
internet's like
tough.
it's either the greatest thing, award winning, or it's dog shit.
Yeah.
There's
Most
no
of
in
the time-
between.
Most of the time is dog shit to people.
Most of the time.
Yeah, so like I'm working on something now, and it's like I had like 60,000 words, and I
Now, what are we talking about? Are we talking about like poetry? We talking about like writing a book?
I got tons of poetry. This was a fictional book.
60,000 words.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
and I deleted every single bit of it. But
You're hard on yourself. That's why.
yeah, and I wish I could undo it. Just now, I don't backspace. I keep it, and I'll open up another document. But I'm working on something now, and you guys can tell me if you like the plot or not.
I'm in already.
Me too.
I'm ready to listen.
This dude, you're a creative dude. Don't be shy to share your creativity, man.
Trust me, you've heard me fucking drop some crazy fucking plot ideas.
Yeah.
Talked about someone getting
So-
smashed with a hammer.
So it starts out with a guy who his father was a kind of like he worked for a cybersecurity company,
Let's take a piss break real quick.
Yeah, we'll be
Yeah.
right back.
God dang, my hand's wet. I can't open this bottle. Oh, And that's how.
Oh,
pussies
nice.
do it. Cheers, y'all.
That's that new
Cheers.
gin.
That's that new
That's
gin.
that gin. That's that gin double A.
Yeah.
That's it. Song.
That's that OMalley. That's that OMalley generation. Okay, I was wrong. All right, I picked Sterling.
Oh, baby.
I picked Sterling. I'll eat the crow.
You'll eat the shit.
I'll eat the shit, man. Look, I mean, we've said it, Brian, that OMalley was going to be champion at some point. He had it.
Yeah.
Whatever the it factor was, I didn't think it was coming against Sterling because
We said it. Some of us just said it at
Why
the
did
right
he
time.
lean?
Yes.
Like, why did he lean like that?
He just fucking overcommitted.
he overcommitted. That's
Sean
exactly
O'Malley, Sean O'Malley got in his head. Aljamain Sterling came into the fight complacent, and Sean O'Malley got into his head. He did not expect him to be that caliber of a fighter, and he said it out in the interview. He said Sean O'Malley was way better than I thought he was going to
He
be.
did.
He goes out there and fails to take down the end of round one. He said, you know what? Whatever. It was the end of the round. It didn't really matter. Then Sean O'Malley stuffs a second takedown defense. A real takedown. A real fucking takedown.
And
he took down Henry Cejudo in the exact same way. He grabs a
He's
single
right.
leg.
He's
He
right.
switches to both hips to the double leg,
Mhm.
and he picks him up and fucking scoops his butt out.
And Henry Cejudo is a world champion
Triple
gold
C.
medal wrestler.
Olympic wrestler.
So
yeah.
like,
It's
he
the best of
did-
the best.
Yes,
And
it's
he-
the,
and he
it's
took
the
him down that
greatest
way.
wrestler. Yeah.
Aljamain Sterling picks
can
up Sean
find.
O'Malley's leg. Sean O'Malley catches the whizzer.
It was good takedown defense. by
Sean O'Malley catches the whizzer, and then he goes to switch to the double leg. He creates distance and gets off the fucking cage, and he defends the takedown.
I feel like you enjoy watching fights so much more than I do because I'm just like watching them and I'm like, and I just see a guy leaning in, and you probably see why he's leaning in.
Yeah.
And then I see like, why are you leaning in, you idiot?
Well,
He's
see, the
a
thing
striker. He's gonna get you. Of course, you're gonna get knocked out.
So there's two reasons I love it. It's the technical aspect and the mental aspect.
Yeah,
I can understand the mental aspect because of the technical aspect a little
Yeah.
more. But like,
I
you
just
get-
see two dudes fighting.
But like, no, but if you like, if you really were to break it down, like just with no knowledge of fighting, if you broke it down, you would fucking love watching it because the reason he overextended in the second round is because he's starting to get a little frustrated. He's starting to get a little frustrated. His takedowns weren't working, and he should be able to just beat this guy. Gets a little frustrated, overcommits a little bit with his strikes, gets caught
He knew he overcommitted as soon as he threw it.
because he closed his eyes.
Yeah, he
He's
closed his
like,
eyes.
"Fuck."
He knew. He saw it coming.
And like you love that aspect of human nature of like a person getting frustrated because something's not going their way. Like you love to
Dude.
dissect a person's brain.
It's
Yeah.
a fucking
And that's
chess
what fighting
match.
is. It's a chess match.
It's
yeah.
a fucking chess match out there. I think that's the reason. Well, maybe the reason why I love UFC so much is because I grew up watching my brother fight and kick people's asses all the time.
You're a
Maybe
fucking
that's
jabroni.
maybe because I'm a fucking jabroni, bro.
Hell yeah.
But
Shout out Chris Harris. We haven't brought him up yet.
yeah,
on
we
the
haven't.
episode.
We can't go without it.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know we can't go without it.
All we do is talk about Chris Harris.
Yeah.
Someone
the
once
Chris
said-
Harris podcast, episode 59.
Someone once said that in a Facebook comment.
Really?
All they do is talk about Chris Harris.
Oh, really?
What's not to talk about?
Shout out Lee Nichols.
Yeah. Shout out Lee Nichols.
Actually, shout out Lee Nichols. Though. That's the coolest
yeah.
dude.
At least someone has an opinion.
Yeah, that's right.
They watched it and they have an opinion. I
There
like
you go.
that. I can
for
appreciate
sure.
that.
Even if it's negative.
Even if it's negative, I'm glad
There
you
you go.
watched.
We're not going to cancel you, regardless of what your opinion is.
Yeah, but I was talking about Always Sunny the other day or earlier. Like the 6th episode, he like gets the gang together and he's like, "Hey, y'all need to come to my apartment." And they come up there and he's wearing a full Nazi uniform.
Yeah,
And
you
they
can't
decide
do
to
that now.
they decide to burn it. And he's
Isn't
like, "Yeah,
that
but we
weird?
shouldn't burn this perfectly good Nazi uniform. This could be good use."
Okay, all right. This
This
is
is
a
crazy.
good question. This is a good question.
Okay.
All right. Boom, your grandfather passes away. You go see
I
a
love where this is
chest.
going.
You see this like chest.
Magical chest up there, been there forever. You never open it. Don't know what's in it.
Yeah, you open it up and you see some like scary ass like anti-Semitic like torture chamber like
Oh God.
like
Auschwitz shit.
yeah, like he was one of those
Like
guys.
gas chambers, fucking people
But
up.
we're talking about he's got souvenirs from it.
Like ears and fucking
like a
teeth.
cat of nine
No,
tails
no,
or something like
no,
that.
No, I'm talking like
Oh,
he's got
man.
like the shower head,
The
you
gas
know,
mask.
with the Bosch logo.
Oh
on it.
man, okay. I'm
The
way-
Bosch. But like a cat of nine tails or like a whip or something crazy where it was
Robert
like,
Bosch and
here we go.
Joseph Stalin, not Joseph Stalin, Adolf Hitler were really tight.
Oh really?
hmm So who do you think engineered all this stuff? That's a hot take that I have to be careful with. So anyway,
You find all these souvenirs.
what would you
not
you
not body
find
parts? That's
all
not
the
what souvenirs.
souvenirs you find like a shower head. We're talking valuable historic things like a Nazi uniform
I'm
legit?
hitting up fucking Rick. From
Do you
Pawn
sell
Stars.
it? Do you sell it or do you burn it?
I don't burn
Oh
it.
no, that's Do you profit
Yes.
off of the dead bodies and the torture and the
absolutely.
He's
suffering?
got a journal. He's got a journal of like
before
how
you.
he like you find a journal and like how he enjoyed it. like,
Because
each
that's
day.
what
History-
you're doing
history
morally.
repeats itself. Is it important? Would you rather? Is it more important to
He's trying
spread
to
the
make
knowledge of
I'm
history?
part of the problem.
spread
Debate here.
the knowledge of history, or you erase history, people forget? It's very important. Would you rather nobody know about what happened? Like if nobody ever knew about what happened, it's more likely to repeat itself, right?
So before the podcast, we talked about morality outweighs greed. You know, like you're more concerned about respecting someone than profiting and exploiting your friends and stuff like that. You know.
Sure. Yeah. That's
Okay.
right.
So would you exploit your grandfather and like get rich, but you're also you will be known forever as like the grandson of this guy.
I don't think that's. I mean, the thing is like
I
A
know
lot of
exactly what you're asking.
a lot of the people that were Nazis at the time, it's not because they really had that much of a choice.
Oh, I mean, the dads were proud of their sons who served Hitler.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's some fucked up people that are like that.
There
But
was a following, dude. That's why he people fucking love that.
Yeah,
Until they
but
realized he was a dumbass.
Yeah.
why?
You ever played? No, you made a comment the other day, and I'm like shouting. I'm like, dude, have you not studied Hitler? You ever play chess with somebody, and they're making moves, and you're like, holy shit, dude, this guy's a fucking genius.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, this guy doesn't know how to. This
He's
guy
just
doesn't.
lucky.
Yeah, this guy doesn't know how to play chess. He's just moving random spots.
I'm gonna be
That was
honest.
Hitler.
I've never
He was a
experienced that in
genius.
chess.
He was a genius to everyone until they realized
He's a fucking idiot.
this guy's a fucking idiot.
But he had charisma. So
He
he
had.
So
he
I
had
use,
charisma.
I use that as like a fucking vague example. He was talking about whenever I said that everybody always refers to like the smartest people of all time as good people and never bad people.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
people never refer to Hitler as a smart person or an intelligent one of the
He
smartest.
No,
is-
people of all
it
time.
could have been
he
drugs
is
that messed him
one
up.
of the most charismatic people that's ever lived.
Yeah, but I mean,
Fuck that.
honestly, it could have been drugs. You know.
Sadly, he is.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it could have been drugs that like made him go off the deep end.
He was on uppers, a lot of uppers, right? Because there's
Oh, there
stories
was, like,
about him
meth.
going in, into like, worldwide, like,
Prestige worldwide.
yeah, there was like stories about him going into like debates with other leaders of the world, and,
Mussolini and stuff.
yeah, and like being on uppers and like talking them down and talking them like.
because they didn't want to be a part of the war, but he just took so much meth before, and he's like,
and that's the charisma took the
Oh,
word
whoa,
in.
could you do that again?
Dude, you did.
That was
more
way more
Japanese.
Chinese.
You
Yeah.
you give uppers to a fucking psychopath that has charisma?
Yeah, give me some, baby. Let's go. I'll listen
Uppers
fucking
to a
Arnold Schoenberg all
psychopath,
night.
dude. And he's got
Yeah.
charisma. For some reason, like people bought in.
They bought,
Yeah.
they balled in, he balled out.
Yeah, but
Fuck, dude.
anyway, Hitler gets enough press as it is.
Right,
So,
right.
what do you do with? Do you sell it or do you burn it? Do you hide it? Or
I probably,
I ain't gonna say
probably
burn it.
sell it. I think it's probably a fucking very valuable piece of information.
Of course,
Do
in
you
history.
reveal it's your grandpa?
Sure.
He has no tradition from that generation. That's what we were talking about.
I don't. I mean, I don't think that's
It's true,
I think
though.
that's
No,
a very,
no.
Well, no, I
I
mean
mean,
it
that's
would
a shitty
change your
example of
life.
that.
You'd probably get fired.
I
Like,
don't think you would.
dude, that's gonna.
I
Be,
think that's because I kind of predicted what you were going to say based off of
Because
your
you
lack
know
of
me?
tradition. No.
And
I'm
you've
just.
known me
I don't
for
mean it
my
like that.
whole entire
I
life.
know. That did sound very shitty.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I didn't mean it like that. I just saying like if I had to come up with an idea of what you would have said, then I would have taken the less traditional route, and that's what you.
I don't think that's a
said.
less traditional route though.
To be able to make money off of like something that. Like there's no honor, there's no stoicism, there's like you know what I'm saying? Like there's no
well, keeping it is honorable to keep the Nazi shit.
well, no. You're
selling it for profit, which is very
Like,
creative, which is very.
you're
I'm not
keeping
knocking
the
what
legacy
you're-
of your.
Yes.
Well,
is that what do you want to keep that legacy?
yeah, that's true. That's true.
no, but like I think I would kind of want it. Like,
Okay, maybe not even saying sell it. Just give it to fucking like a museum or like whatever, like for information purposes.
Okay, see, I like
Okay,
that.
okay.
I'm
I like
not
that.
looking
I
at
like
it in a
that.
way
Yeah,
of
I like
making
that
profit. I'm
answer.
just saying
Okay,
like give it in
okay.
a way like not keeping
Okay,
it myself
yeah.
or burning or get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but like still, it's gonna dampen his reputation.
Maybe his reputation shouldn't be fucking great.
But and
Maybe.
also
if he's a fucking Nazi,
your
he's
family.
probably the fucking shitty person.
You know,
It's just weird how
it's going to tarnish your family's
Who's
reputation.
it going to tarnish my family's reputation to? If I told you that my grandpa was a Nazi, would you look at me any different?
No.
Why not?
you wouldn't, but I think a lot of people would.
No, that's what I'm getting.
Yeah, no, I mean, because I judge the person.
Okay, and so you think that a person that is going to judge you based on your family's past is probably a person that you don't really give a fuck about?
There's a world out there that we have to acknowledge, and that is you call it the PC world, but like it's dangerous. Like it would be damaging. It could be damaging to you if just having your last name, and that could potentially, it could help you get a job, and it could help you get a better job depending on who it was.
I don't think it would ruin your chances as far as like getting a job or getting you fired or something like that. Because that's something that you don't have any control over what your family did. I think you exposing them for that. I don't even want to use the word exposing because I feel like that has such a negative connotation. But a man once said that a man can live a life without any human interaction and be fulfilled.
You're right.
I like it.
I think if you take those people that are looking down on your family because of that and just cut them completely out, you think you could probably be more fulfilled. Like you said,
Okay,
you're the man.
Let's shift it.
Creative generation, like I said.
Going back to if you could live, what can you live without? Going back to that,
Can this be multiple choice?
What can you live without?
I can live without a lot. I think I can live without most people.
I'm going to ask you guys.
Okay, please.
Could you live without a home?
No.
I think I could.
Okay.
Could if I was forced to? Yeah, but like right now where I'm at in reality, no.
Okay.
Like I think I don't want to say like if I was forced to. I think if I was in a point where, and I guess forced to is probably exactly what he's meaning.
Yeah.
It's what I'm saying is forced to, or his version of forced to. But like if I were in a point where I didn't have anything and like maybe I could see a version of myself where I live a life where I don't want a home and I want to just kind of fucking travel the world like Jules.
Yeah,
maybe
you'll
travel
always,
the world and.
I guess I should say house because you're always going to have a home.
One thing I will say, just a little sidebar, not to cut you off, is that once I moved into here, like when I have spent a year in this house, I was like, I can be happy. And I came from an apartment, and I spent 7 years of needless, like just ridiculous money on an apartment when I should have stayed at home. But when I got this house, I was like, oh, this is not. This is just like security. Like I could cut this top floor off and still be happy.
Yeah.
It's
I think
it's weird. I think it's more than materialistic things,
Yeah, and I think honestly, like having a house is almost something that like kind of is almost a detriment to you. Like
definitely,
it kind of holds you back because at the end of the day, you do have this place to come down and relax and chill. But like I heard something the other day and it was like you need to have the same energy that a crackhead has. They wake up in the morning and they're fucking constantly on the grind to find the next rock or whatever it is,
Dude, that's legit.
But like really, like
that's legit.
When you wake up in the morning,
I think so.
You might sleep in a little longer than you should have. Then like, oh well, fuck. I guess I'll get a biscuit from Hardee's and fucking mosey into work and not really get started until like 9:35. And then, but what happens if you're fucking
bullshit?
But yeah, that's because you do.
It's all bullshit.
And then you get off work and you should cut the grass. You're like, but I can wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
And you come with these excuses.
It was hot today.
Because you have all these reasons to come with the excuse. You're comfortable. But like, if you don't have the house, what are your fucking options?
I got a message.
I'm not gonna go find a place that's fucking.
I got a
survive.
message the other day from a friend. Yeah. It was just a pure black video, and I click on it. And it's like, I shouldn't. Sometimes I feel like I shouldn't go running, but sometimes you just gotta stay hard. And then he just starts running.
Dude, that was legit. Now,
I respect that shit, dude.
Dude, it was a little bit of a.
You play into the crowd. I get it.
Like, because I knew you would enjoy the Goggins Stay Hard.
I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it?
I saw it was 15 seconds, and I thought it was just the Justin clip of "Let me know."
Oh my!
So I just didn't watch it.
I watched it,
and someone put "ha ha" on it. I was like, "Oh, it's got to be that."
Anytime he sends a video, I'm gonna fucking click on that shit.
I respect everybody in the Madden League. Like whenever I
didn't watch it.
Like whenever anybody sends anything,
Me too.
I'll at least invest because somebody took the time out to send it.
Yeah,
You know.
me too.
I did
That's
just
what
the
you
one- just
do.
the one
That's
time.
what you do.
Yeah, the one time.
And I'm not ashamed to admit that.
No, you're good. No, you need to.
He was
watch that.
honest. I think you should appreciate
But
his
the
honesty.
thing is, I was thinking of you
But
when
also-
I sent
Yeah.
it because you're the
And
David
then,
Goggins.
and then John Michael said, "Who's going to carry the boats?" And I was like, "Why is he saying this?"
Yeah.
I thought, "Why is he saying this?" I was
I
like,
want to play it for you so bad.
well, "Play it for me."
Okay.
Pull that shit up.
Hey, do y'all mind if I fart? Ah, too late.
It's okay. You probably didn't turn the audio on anyway. So
Wow.
Yeah, we're going there.
We're doing this.
It's really good to be here with you fellas.
Cheers.
Cheers.
you don't feel like running, what do you do when you don't feel like running or exercising because you finally get a day off? You go fucking anyway.
You go fucking anywhere.
So good.
I didn't want to do it.
It's gonna take a wrecking ball to get me fucking out of here.
Dude, I didn't want to do it. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I need to go running. Paris like, you should. I'm like, pull up a David Goggins video on, like, why you should go running. And, like, I quoted one of his videos almost word for word. You know, I wanted to stop, but then I realized I was tired. I was thinking about my bed and how comfortable it was.
Could be a fucking pussy.
But then I realized I'm not a fucking bitch. And I kept running.
Dude, David
It was
Goggins.
almost the same exact word for
It's so
word
good.
video.
David Goggins is famous for obvious reasons,
As you should be.
as he should be.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot to learn from that in a way that he doesn't intend for it to mean, and that's this David Goggins is an example of what happens when you don't balance your life out.
Yeah.
Yeah, no shit.
You know, when you become an extreme.
Yeah, when you stay hard, I think was what you're trying to say.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
What happens if you stay
Which
hard?
I love, dude.
What
I
is he
love the
distracted?
hard-nosed shit.
Yeah.
But, like, there is something to, like, how many divorces are we at? Like, how much is this taken away? How much of this person have you become?
He can run 200 miles, but he can't stay married.
Yes.
Yeah.
What that says a lot
Yeah,
to
that's
me.
because these bitches ain't shit.
Well, I mean, like, imagine how hard, like,
Oh,
because
yeah,
a woman
it's
has
impossible.
needs. Yeah, a woman has needs, and like, he don't give a shit about your needs.
I
he's
think,
gotta-
I
he's
think
gotta
the
go.
thing is
He's
like
got to run.
when you meet somebody, it's always like usually like an opposite. Like you're usually the more dominant, someone's usually the more submissive. So it's weird to see.
That's right. Dominant.
Not sexually, but
No.
I mean sometimes.
Whoa.
Whoa, here we go.
Oh man, we're getting into it now. Tell us. Spill the beans.
Yingling. The
Not a sponsor. Nope. Absolutely not.
Oh, it'd be
So,
cool if it
gotta
was,
edit
right?
that out. Gonna clear that.
I mean, you don't get in trouble for showing the logo.
No, but they don't deserve it.
Okay.
Yeah, this podcast is too big to show that fucking logo.
Free advertising.
If they want to have their logo showed on this podcast,
Food line.
they're going to have to pay for it.
Food line
All
water.
right, I'm down with Food Line. Them
Yeah,
beats are
shit,
fucking
damn, I
good.
done lost my fucking
Thanks.
train of thought now.
I tried to get y'all a sponsor. I've been trying, but like, I got to I need some info. I got to have some
What kind
info.
of? We'll talk off there.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah, I
gonna
forgot my
forget, yeah.
fucking train of thought now.
But yeah, there's no balance with David Goggins.
Yeah, I think there
Oh,
really
man.
isn't. I think that there's he's kind of like he's become that guy. Now he has to stay that guy, and he is,
I think he has to stay that guy.
and
to
he
stay
is
alive.
powerful enough mentally to stay that guy, and that's what makes him relevant.
I think he has to stay that guy to be alive because he
Maybe,
knows,
yeah,
'cause
maybe he
knows
does.
that-
He
well-
definitely has now.
Well, think
I mean,
about what's harder. Is it harder to halfway be that guy or fully be that guy?
I mean,
'cause-
fully, yeah.
I think it's harder to halfway be that guy
You got that right. Yeah.
because think
What
about
you mean?
think about like if I'm trying to work as hard as I fucking can throughout the week, and then on the weekends I relax and I party a little bit, and then
Okay.
when you go back to that fucking, you're switching constantly. You're switching back and forth to it. Imagine what it's like Glover said, action promotes action. Imagine what it's like to go back and like you wake up like you're doing right now. You're sticking straight to your diet. Imagine what would happen if you went to McDonald's tonight.
It could set a fucking chain off.
It'd
Because
it'd be a lot. Because then the next day you might want it again. If it's just say you eat this McDonald's and it's fucking delicious.
can I ask you, both of you guys, something? Is it an addictive personality that creates you to be able to lose 103 pounds? Because you have to kind of be addicted to it to do it. There's no other way.
We can label anything, but
that's true. That's true.
Dude,
Well, I think the mind is
I quit
addictive.
cigarettes like that.
Okay.
I quit drinking like that.
I think I have an addictive personality.
Well, do you think that you quit those things so easily because of your addictive personality? You were addicted to the way it made you feel to quit so easily?
That's why I've never smoked
perhaps.
a cigarette. That's why I've never taken a dip.
Yeah. Dip, you probably need to stay away from cigarettes because, like, it is calming. Dip, don't.
I mean, now I'm not going to take a cigarette just for the principle of, like, being that asshole that says, I've never smoked a cigarette. You know, that's kind of like the guy. I'm that guy.
The first time I took a dip.
You got sick?
Oh, of course I did.
I think
everybody
apparently
does. I
does.
passed out in a creek and I'm like throwing up and I'm like, ugh.
And your friends will laugh and you hit your head
No,
on
it
a
was my
rock.
brothers.
It was the 90s. Yeah. There's like head trauma didn't exist.
Wow. You ever watch BoJack Horseman?
Mm-mm.
That's a show that's a must-watch.
He's been saying it for a while.
It's a must-watch animated show.
I'm going to check it out, dude.
All right, I'll check
I have
it out.
to. I don't have a choice.
I'll check it out. I'm
Watch-
always into
watch
like,
season 1.
Is it a mindless show? I can throw it on and like fall asleep
I
to
think
it.
it's much deeper. He seems
It's
to say it's much
significantly
deeper than it.
Okay.
Yeah.
God, I forget his name. I always forget his name. The guy that played. He was in,
Will Arnett.
Will Arnett. Yeah, that's him.
I'll tell you what. Have you watched House that Jack Built?
I put it on it. And
Did you watch it?
I put it on and watched.
Noah watched it.
I haven't finished it.
He heard the podcast. He's like, I'm gonna watch this. He's like,
That
it's fucking
movie
great.
is actually
That's the same guy that was in fucking.
that's Dylan. What's his name?
Luke, not Luke Bryan. Matt Dillon.
Matt Dillon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Matt Dillon. Isn't that the same guy that was in who's the fucking main actor in that?
Matt Dillon.
Oh, that's his name?
Yeah.
He played in the Outsiders.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah,
one of the
okay,
main
yeah,
guys
that's okay,
in the
yeah,
He
that's
Outsiders.
played in
I'm picturing his
90210.
face.
I don't know that.
I'm
That
picturing his face.
I think his name was Luke in 90210. That's why I said Luke.
Okay.
House of Jack. All right, House of Jack Bill. I'll let you know.
It's
when I watch
one of
it. You
those,
watch BoJack Horseman.
BoJack Horseman.
I promise you. Watch the first season of BoJack Horseman, and you'll be hooked.
Okay.
I'll watch both of those.
It's really like it's an animated series, and like at first you're thinking it's kind of like the dry, dark humor, haha, it's funny, and then you finish the season 1, and you're like, the end of season 1, you're like, oh my god, all of the whole first season makes sense now, and it
Okay.
just hits how fucking depressing and how depressed his life is, and it's basically like his need for materialistic things in life, and how they never amount to what he thinks they'll amount to, and
that's
how
life in general,
and
right?
how he has this constant desire of achieving
chasing
the next goal,
Yeah.
but that goal never leaves him as fulfilled as the chase does. And he gets to
Damn.
this goal, and guess what happens? He falls back into this fucking loneliness and depression and sadness because it didn't feel what he thought it.
Maybe that's
it didn't make him feel what he thought it would feel.
person with a stoicism mindset. I don't know. That's crazy.
But Will Arnett said that someone asked him what
I love Will Arnett.
Someone asked him
He's
what
fine,
is your
yeah.
hardest. What was the hardest role you've ever had to act in? He goes, it's not really acting, but it's voice acting, and it's playing BoJack Horseman. He said
Really?
it's the
I've
hardest.
heard nothing
He said
but
it's
good
the hardest
things.
character I've ever had to play in my life.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
He
been
said it's
recommended
mentally
to me
taxing.
a lot, mostly by
Yeah.
him. But
So good, dude.
Yeah.
So good.
Okay. I'll watch it.
It's
I'll
amazing.
watch it.
It's incredible.
The
damn, I'll put on the House that Jack built, and I haven't went back to it.
why don't we crave and I'm giving you a softball pitch, underhanded. Why don't we crave hardness?
Why do we crave hardness?
Yeah, like I feel like we respect hardness, like people that are hard.
I know why.
Why?
It's passed down through us, and the people that our parents or their parents came from the Great Depression, dude. They had no choice but to be hard people who had no choice but to have kids to have out there on the fucking farms. You know, like you had kids and you had kids to contribute to to living.
Can you tell me what you mean by crave hardness?
I was talking sexually.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. No.
That's good.
Yeah,
No.
I think it's passed down through generations personally, and I think that each even the generation that's been hard before us, even there was lazy motherfuckers in that, and it's just been watered down since. And then once we have some hard times coming up, I'm sure it's gonna happen eventually. I mean, we all know this. What's the saying? You guys will be able to help me out more than I can say it. It's,
Yeah,
hard men
time.
create soft times. Soft
Soft
times
times
create
create
hard
hard
men. Hard men
I think that's legit.
create soft times.
I believe in that shit.
Soft men create soft times.
So,
soft times create soft
Here's
men.
here's the
Soft
thing.
men creates hard times.
So,
I think that's legit.
I watched the book I just finished was it's called The Warrior Ethos by Stephen Pressfield. Highly recommend it. And basically, he's just examining the like what really got him thinking about it was, dude, the technology that America has. Why can we not beat the Taliban? Like, why is this not over in a day? And then he got to looking, comparing that with military history. He saw that there is a tribal armies, and like Taliban, and even when Rome, even when Alexander would he went to Africa. There was enemies that it was just unbeatable, because they said the Taliban had a saying, you guys may own the watches, but we own the time. And it's just a grit that you can't.
Can you explain that to me?
What?
You guys may own the watches, but we own the time. What do you mean by that? What do they mean by that?
Because that is their culture. Like, we may own the watches, like, as far as
the
like,
riches,
the material things.
Yes.
And like, yeah, you guys may own the watches, but we own the time that the watches track, because we, like, our children's children can fight this war just as hard as we did. So that's fine. You guys keep sending troops over. Eventually, you guys will lose interest, run out of money.
And guess what? Our generations down will still be doing this.
Yeah. And it'll be a different enemy, but it'll be something else. But anyway, he goes through that, and it really is. It's a short read, and he talks about he goes on Spartans, and I love that. And he spends most of his time talking about Alexander the Great and the Spartans. And did you know this? That I wish they would have put this in 300, but they would make the Spartan boys. They would get like a little cup, fill their mouth with water, make them run in the desert, and if you could not spit the water back in the cup the same amount, they beat the shit out of you for hours. And I'm like, dude, because they wanted mental toughness. So, like, that's why 300, the Battle of Thermopylae, that was a real thing. Like,
right.
they really fought off hundreds of thousands of Persians. 300,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was really more like
a few thousand.
Well, yeah, 1,200, but it was 300 Spartans.
Okay.
Yeah, and those 300 Spartans weren't chosen because they were hard. Because there was a saying that Spartan, other cities or other kingdoms may create cities, palaces, great works, statues, but Spartan creates men. So the 300 men weren't chosen because they were hard men. Because you could pick 300 guys at random, and they would be all good. He picked them because of the women being as hard as they were. The 300 men he picked were the 300 hardest women. He said because hard men, are created by hard women. And I think we're coming to a time that because the women are getting
advanced, they're evolving
as they should
be,
but like they're getting harder,
right?
And I think we're coming, and this is going to be a hot take.
Okay,
it's not going to be no Cosby take, but it's going to be a hot take.
What's a Cosby take?
You know what the Cosby take is?
I
don't even want to say
I know it hurts, man. That's what he said. He was like, yeah, shout out to Austin Shirley. He said very controversial take. I don't think Bill Cosby did it.
Clip it.
And then
clip that.
Yeah.
TikTok.
I don't think Bill Cosby did it. He's like, dude, I know it hurts. Just let it go. Just let it go. It hurts us all. He's a great comedian, but he's a terrible person. Let it go, dude.
But this is the hot take. I think we've oppressed women so long that it has stunted our men.
Oh, I'm very interested in this because we definitely have.
That our soft men today isn't because we don't have enough hard men. It's because we oppressed our women to the point where they were soft.
Oh, man. Oh, you might be on to some shit.
But we're getting to a time where women are getting
tougher.
Harder.
You're seeing
Yes.
beefy women. Meatball Patty. What's her name?
Mentally.
Lean
beef
patty.
Beef ball patty.
Lean beef patty.
Yeah. like mentally. They're just
You're
like.
seeing shredded bitches on Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, it's not about, I mean, I'm talking about just like mentally tough. And strong women
You're seeing that now?
create strong men. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There's definitely a
Think of the woman when you were, think of the mom when you were a kid.
women have
And
definitely
now think of the
evolved.
moms now.
Oh yeah.
They're getting harder.
Oh man.
Because I think.
Well, I
is
mean,
a hot
not
take.
our mom. Our mom's always been hard as fuck.
Well,
For
yeah,
real,
yeah.
dude.
Our
okay.
mom's fucking hard as
Pelzer,
fuck, dude.
Pelzer
Yeah.
don't count.
Pelzer don't count, dude. She's hard as
Listen,
fuck.
She's
they've
hard
been
as
ready for a
fuck.
war,
Dude, I'm telling
but
you.
I think there's a war coming.
Dude, I haven't thought about this, and I think that there's something there to be
I think
said.
we're two. I think
I
we're
don't
two
know if I
generations.
agree on it because I have to be honest. You come from a background that's like you're a very intelligent person, and I mean that sincerely. You're a very intelligent person, so you come from, so you think about these ideas. You have a lot of thought in these ideas, and I think that when I hear you say something like that, immediately I go, okay, let's balance this out. That's my first thought. Is like, okay, this is a little crazy. Let me bring it back to earth. Let's balance this out. But I think that there's there's something to be said because you've thought about this. I can tell.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not entirely a lot, but like I've thought about it after that book. I was like, you know, like I can see that in today's culture that the women are getting harder, and I think that will in turn make the men harder. Now, will the men
There's going to be immediate.
I mean,
pushback.
we're talking like 2-3
I mean, there's
generations
always
away.
been an immediate pushback against women's progression. There just has. I mean, you can talk to
Now, how
men
long is-
from the
how long is
80s,
this
men from the
timeline?
90s. Huh?
How long is this timeline?
Well, I mean, we're talking.
Good question. Good question.
We're talking. There's always been an oppression, but like I really feel like it wasn't until it really wasn't like roles weren't needed. It just kind of stayed around, you know, like because there was a time when you needed the man had to be the protector. Now it's like it's almost like a Halloween costume. Does the woman really need to be protected by the man in today's society?
well, like you go back
I don't
to
think so.
what if we go back to let's say like the 1920s? I mean, I feel like women were oppressed more then than they are now.
Yeah, but they did. They
Do you
didn't.
think? Do you think women were harder then?
Yeah, I do. But I think they were, and it's hard. No, because they were harder because they were fighting for the right to vote.
So
and
what?
1920 was when they were able to get the right to vote, and that's when they were really pushing.
How you gonna
We're
tell
getting the
somebody
right-
they can't vote because of their gender?
So what?
It's
If, I know this might
crazy.
sound like a shitty fucking like hot take, but what if because of their oppression in that time, that's why men were harder then, and then now that because of the less women being oppressed less than ever,
I'll tell you how it started. After.
maybe that they are less hard now, and now men are less hard because of that.
Yeah, I definitely, I definitely think technology, makes you soft. You know.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But like, I don't think men can get softer.
Convenience makes you
I
soft.
think we're at the bottom.
Oh, you think men can get softer than they are now?
I don't think it's possible.
Damn. I hope you're right.
And I know this sounds really sexist, and it is what it is. But yeah, I don't think men can get softer. Then
that sounds sexist.
I don't think that
it's
sounds
to the
sexist.
point
I
where-
think it's just being honest.
Yeah, it's to the point where we can't even agree on what gender is.
It's kind of goofy, a little goofy.
Yeah.
And I have to say, not to.
How much worse can it get?
Okay, I think there is some kind of disconnect between the men we know, the great men that we know, the men that we've idolized and respected for so long. They kept everything in, man. That's not healthy. It's not. Like the 80s guys, the guys who have like, you know, the muscle car guys, the toughness, the high T guys.
But you don't need to talk about everything.
You don't, but I think you like, if it bothers you, those guys are missing some of that. Like, both of these generations need to meet in the middle.
Sounds like he's sounding a little bit like you.
No. This is just me looking. This is just me.
He's more than he wants to admit.
Yeah.
No. I'm just saying that, like, there's a lot from the creative side that is less traditional.
Me.
The
not
traditional side that is less creative.
You old.
Where it's like, you guys need to come together and realize that there is a middle happy place. You can't.
There needs to be a trash can. You can't have a clean room without having a trash can, right? So
True.
everybody needs a trash can. Where it falls down is, you can't just throw your trash everywhere, because then you might have a clean house, but you got a messy yard.
So you're saying your wife should be your trash can?
No. Like, in this analogy, it could be. You know, where you just unload on your, like, you know, where you're just crying and like
the mascara.
You know, I feel this, I feel this, I feel this. But like, that group needs to be limited. It doesn't need to be everybody on social media. You know, like, it doesn't need to be the students that you teach. You know, your students should see you as a hard motherfucker.
Yeah, for me, like, in my relationship, for an example, I think that Gabby and I have a really good, like you said with the trash thing, you know, I can't clean my room without taking out the trash. But the thing is, like, I might put all my trash in the trash can. Say the trash can is Gabby in this metaphor, and she takes the trash out for me. And then whenever it's her time to vent or whatever, I'm the trash can, and then she puts her trash in me, and I get rid of her trash for her.
Yep,
dude. So we have this good back and forth.
It's a fucking village. You're building a village. Like, you're sitting there going, I accept you and your flaws. You accept me and my flaws. We're going to work together, and we're going to build this fucking village inside of our own home.
If you want to be soft, you got to think soft. If you're going to think hard, you're going to be hard.
Give me an example of thinking soft.
A year ago.
Okay.
Over a year ago. Look at the guy that was sitting here.
It's got to be really fucking close to a year, actually.
It does. That's over a year.
I don't think it is.
All right.
Now,
oh yeah, it is. It's right at a year. It was October, maybe.
I used to think really hard, but then I went through a season where I pursued comfort. You know, where I was like, well, comfort is the greatest.
Convenience, comfort, all of that. Yeah.
Like, I value comfort more than anything, and if it makes me uncomfortable, I'm not doing it. That's a soft ideology.
It is.
But I held strong to it, because I'm like, you know what? If it makes me uncomfortable, I'm not doing it. You know, but like that, I went through that season, and you see the fruit that it produced. It produced a depressed, soft person. Literally.
We need resistance.
Yeah.
All of us.
Yep.
Mentally and physically.
Yeah. You have to think hard. So I'm not going to, my saying is not going to be stay hard. My saying is going to be think hard. Because if you think hard, you'll be hard. Because this world has too much softness, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely, as far as whenever we say this world, I mean, we more or less refer to as America as a very soft place. I mean, you got obviously like communist North Korea, where it's not nearly as soft as America probably is.
You want to talk about winning the lottery.
Or like Pakistan.
You want to talk about losing the lottery?
Being born in a communist country probably isn't very fun.
You don't know. You don't know.
I'm not even trying to be comical.
Like you look at like China or something, for instance, and I don't want to like say that. I mean, America's a lot softer than China. You look at just schooling standards.
They've outlawed in China. Like what is it? Like feminizing men.
I don't know, man. You're the one.
Media. Like, no, there's words like effeminate men, or like basically media that feminizes men. It is illegal in China now to show it.
To be a feminine male is illegal.
Yep.
To portray that,
because they don't want their men to become like that.
Which is, to me, is crazy. I'm
sorry. Yeah.
That's like to try to hold someone back from who they want to be which is why I like, even like most probably right-wing people would be like, yeah, it's great. Like, you need to harden up those people. But I think what they're missing if they say that is it's like, no, I think we need to give these people the freedom to be who they want to be. You know?
Alexander the Great had a saying. Did you finish your thought?
I don't remember.
Okay. Alexander the Great.
Yes.
He had a quote, and he said, "Don't," because there is a tolerance of softness, you know, but not everybody can be soft. You have to have hard people, and I'm saying hard men. I'm saying hard people, like men and women alike. So Alexander the Great said, "Don't fear the army with 100 wolves led by the sheep. Fear the army of 100 sheep led by the wolf." So I think you can have the majority of the country soft as long as your leaders
We're definitely in softer times now.
are hard.
Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely in softer times now. And is it really like, of course there are minorities who are suffering. It's true. I mean, we can't ignore it. Like, you can talk to your grandpa, your uncle, and he's gonna say some racist shit at the fucking family
Like
function.
what?
Man, we all know it. We've all heard it.
Sorry.
We all know it. We all heard it. And that's
Throw
where...
the net out there and see if
see if I can say some racist shit. So we can clip it and like post it on TikTok and then get like an assload of views. We couldn't do shit like
that. Sounds horrible.
But no, for real. It's like...
But our racism is stupid, though. Have you ever noticed that? Like our Southern racism?
Yeah, that's because most Republicans are uneducated.
Well,
like it's
my buddy
sadly,
Jacob
I hate to
said,
say it, but and they come from a lot. They have a lot of good ideas, but
my buddy Jacob said that. Shout out to Jacob. He said that a lot of the people that we work with and like that we're around love the movie Django Unchained because it says the N word a lot, but they don't. They fail to realize that it's just making fun of racist people because they're stupid.
oh man, that's a Jacob said that.
Yeah,
He's fucking right.
yeah, I know. It's so funny. He's like, these people are so dumb. That
Jacob Shaw.
Yeah,
Shout out Jacob Shaw. He's right.
He's like, they're so dumb. They love the movie because it says the N word. They realize that the movie's making fun of them.
fun of them saying it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just making fun of them.
That's just the writing of Quentin Tarantino is so
funny,
next tier, man.
Yeah. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, I can't. What were we on?
Trying to go back is just, we shouldn't be, like you said, don't press the backspace. Just keep writing.
Okay.
Let's just keep writing.
All right.
So that book, we didn't get back to that. We skipped over your book, 60,000 words. You deleted it all.
So no, let's stay here for a second.
that.
Let's
Okay.
stay here for a second.
I want to go back to that though.
I do too.
Okay. So no. So basically, that book, The Warrior Ethos by Stephen Pressfield, he's basically examining the warrior mindset, and he's what is it about these tribal armies that are so strong? And like the main point was they have a defining event built in their culture from adolescence to adulthood. Yesterday, you were a boy, but today you're a man. Yesterday you were a woman, today you are, or yesterday you were a girl, today you are a woman. So like for the Spartan, it was the shield, you know, and a lot of African tribes, it's like the little, like a wooden notch, you know, but yeah, like it was a physical representation of when you become an adult. And he feels like that in civilized cultures, it muddies the line, so it prolongs adolescence, and that's why they become softer. That was one of the things he mentioned I thought was very interesting, because like there isn't, I didn't know without a shadow of a doubt that I was a man until I had kids.
The instinct kicked in.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, I didn't have no choice.
I didn't have to ask anymore.
I really think that the difference is, and where, like, the reason why we are where we are now is because, and it's sad, it really is that men can win physically against women. So we automatically established a more physical dominance. and that's why men tend to create war more than women when men are more domestic violence against women versus like women against men. I mean, you can look at these stats across the board. It seems that like men are always more physical towards women, and that's what I think. That's why I think that like from the beginning, that's why we saw such a man goes out and gets the food, a woman stays home, takes care of the kid. That's kind of where that comes from. I feel like it's and you're right. Like right now, you're starting to see a big push for independent women, and I think it's great. It's amazing, But I think it goes back to men have done a lot of fucking terrible shit. It's true. I mean, you look at all the war that's ever been created. It's probably 95% men. And that comes from being able to physically dominate people to gain power. You've gained power because you can physically dominate, and obviously, like within those men, you've gained like you have charisma. You can, and you do have power. Obviously, like it's passed down through generations too. So there's never any telling. But like, did women ever really have a chance from the go because they're lacking? I mean, I feel like women are the more intelligent species between men and women. I think women are beautiful people. I really do. I think they're more beautiful than men are. We're fucking idiots, dude. We have created war and have like greed and like all these things that have created so much negativity. And it's sad because like women are so delicate. They're like a flower.
Yeah.
Beautiful, intelligent. And we are like dumb brutes who tend to go out there and like take what we want because we can take it. And I'm not trying to be like a feminist here, but it's like, I think that is truth. And that's what builds the whole left wing shit, is that like they've started to where like they've been kind of playing behind the 8 ball from the get-go. And I think that like, a lot of modern men who have that stoicism like me, you and I, Crabman, it's like, fuck, did they ever have a chance to ever have any kind of like, it was never a 50-50 start. We know that. And same for black people. It was never a 50-50 start.
I think you need to include Bryant in that.
No, absolutely not. Not stoic.
With the women or the black people?
The stoic part, probably.
The black women.
Yeah, it's interesting, man, because it's annoying when you hear some, like, the feminists come out and, like, argue some goofy whatever. It's like, okay, we get it. We know. We pass it by. We continue with our day. But at the end of the day, it's like, we kind of established dominance when there was no rules and when it was brutal times. And we kind of just, like, established our dominance because we are the more physical species.
How do you feel about the, I'm sure you've heard of the thought of, like, whenever, as the world progresses, we'll progress into a society where there's no gender and, like, men and women are the same.
Yeah, some alien shit.
Yeah, like some alien shit.
Yeah.
How do you think that would be a better society?
So,
I got my idea.
Nikola Tesla said, if in order to have world peace, you will have to have complete merging of races. And I don't think he's wrong.
I see where he's coming from, though.
But yeah, I don't know if, maybe the non-gender would be part of that. And maybe I'm being closed-minded and I'm blind to it. But I don't see. I feel like biology. I'm going to stand behind science, and the argument about what's, you can't tell me what a woman is, or you can't tell me what a man is. I feel like science can, and once you start throwing out science, you start throwing out logic, and once you start doing that, you kind of almost become going back in time to like the way religion used to be. You know what I mean?
How's that?
They would outlaw like science, and like you couldn't teach certain subjects. You couldn't. It was a big deal to teach the theory of evolution.
Or like What's the theory of the sun being the center of the universe?
Yeah,
that was a big religion thing,
yeah. There was a guy that, I mean, he got.
God, I can't think of that fucking terminology.
He got not he probably got castrated, but like he got decapitated because he thought.
Same thing.
Yeah, it was like in the 1600s because he thought that, hey, I think there may be other planets. He went against that theory.
Planets.
Yeah, he went against that theory of what if the sun is just the center of our universe and there are multiple solar systems and other planets with that have life.
Galaxies
and like they held him in prison for 16 days and they kept asking him, repent, deny this, repent, deny this. And he had the most beautiful quote. I mean, it's a shame I don't know his name. But he said, he said, I will die being right, and you guys will still be ignorant when I'm gone. And it was the most, it was the nicest way you could give him the finger. He's like, I will die. Like, correct. So like, I feel like when you start going against science, you really need to step back and, because there's a thing called chromosomes. You got an X and XY, and I mean you can prove that. You can look at skeletal structures and tell if this was a female or a male. Whenever you start muddying those waters, I think you only open up the door to more stupidity.
Yeah, so I'm saying like the species of say those. It becomes, Y and Y, whatever it becomes, and the chromosome becomes the same thing in the species, and there is no reason. Do you think the world would be a better place if that species is all the same? Just like you were saying, Nikola Tesla said that without there being one race, do you think it would be a better place?
How is there reproduction?
I mean, just say it exists.
Okay.
Somehow.
Yeah, so say there's an alien race out there that only has one gender.
Right.
Okay, and how do they reproduce? Do they cut off their finger and it kind of creates?
I feel like at that point it's probably just technology.
They scissor.
Okay.
They're mentally advanced at that point.
Their skin is permeable and they touch, and then reproductive process begins.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think so because I think you need a balance.
You think the variation in life and situations makes it so beautiful, so precious, so fragile.
Do you want to live in a world? Without women?
Absolutely not.
That's coming from.
I can't stand men.
So this is where I was getting to.
I'm here to defend women. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think men are fucking terrible, and I'm not trying to be like the feminist man. I'm not trying to be that guy who's because there's those guys in especially out west who are not to disclaimer, but. Who tend to be like those more feminine guys that kind of tend to be more soft and spoken that kind of hook up with those chicks who are more feminine. But
it's like your average Asteroid City. What's the guy that did Asteroid City? Fuck.
Oh man, I can't remember.
I keep thinking of Paul Thomas Anderson, but it's not him. That's director. He did Grand Budapest Hotel.
Wes Anderson. Yeah,
it's your average Wes Anderson fan.
Yeah, we're in weird times right now.
Pants.
Where everyone's hyper focusing. Everyone's smart. We have the internet, and the internet.
We have no troubles.
We have
luxury problems.
So you're thinking?
You think they're arguing gender in North Korea? Hell no. Not even on their
North
mind.
Korea is the worst of the worst. What's the standard? If America's the best, North Korea's the worst. What's the standard?
But America, I don't think.
Because I agree with
America
you.
is the best.
What's the best?
I would say Switzerland.
Why so?
Just going from the economy, healthcare, just what little I know, and I'm sure there's somebody out there who's like, "What's Switzerland?"
There's always somebody that's
but like
I've got a hot
economist.
take. I've got a hot take, and I think I would thrive more in an environment that's a lot more harsh physically. And
you think you would thrive in a more harsh environment?
Thrive significantly more.
Why you say that?
I don't know. I feel like I have like the mental capacity to go to a dark place and be able to sustain.
I think you do.
It's like that song, that new song, that line, and I love that line. I'm an old soul in a new world, or a new world in an old.
Oh yeah, being the fucking Richmond,
Yeah.
north of Richmond.
But like you're strong.
Yeah, what's the guy's name? I mean, he's
Oliver Anthony.
hot shit right now. He's
Yeah.
like blowing up. He's
You're
like, I don't
hot-
even
hot
want to blow
shit.
up, bro. I just want to sing these songs because it's how I feel.
Someone he got offered to play the national anthem at the Super Bowl, $100,000, and he said he's not going to take the money. He said I'll sing that song for free. God damn, that's America,
I have
son.
to say,
That's fucking America.
Dude,
but take the money.
You're
though.
a
But take the money.
hard
That's
man
stupid,
in a soft world.
yeah.
Instead of being the old soul in a new world, you're a hard
you
man.
talking about Bryant and this generation, though?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I think I would thrive more in like a
Especially
much more harsh
for
environment.
you.
I
Because
think like if it's like an environment where we have to fucking hunt and kill and protect, I feel like I thrive a lot more in that environment.
I think I would too.
Where I'll wake up and you have there's no choice but to be hard.
I will die for the cause, whatever the cause is.
I
If
do
the
like,
cause is to support my family, I will die for the cause.
I do like civilization. You know,
I do too. I think it creates like peace. Not necessarily peace, but like
A comfortability.
maybe, but like a law and order type. We all have we all have like a sensibility. Maybe it was because of religion or whatever, but we all have like we all have a reason to act and like.
Well, I think this might be kind of one of the reasons why I've kind of been wondering why I was like going down that path of listening to that kind of music, that I was, and like I like to watch, like make myself uncomfortable and watch the horror movies and stuff, and I think part of me wants to stay in touch with that dark side of myself.
It's fun, right?
So, well, not really for fun purposes, just so I don't lose it. So
You
whenever
gotta
I
get
do
it
get,
fixed.
so when I do get into a point of, or if not when I do, but if I were to ever, if the world were ever to turn to shit, I can activate that switch where I can switch. To
So
that
what you're
dark
saying
side.
is like you want to put yourself in the darkness, so when the darkness comes, you're ready for it.
I mean, yeah, sometimes I do that for sure.
I think we all
But I
kind of
don't.
do that.
I don't want to do it like so much to where I'm like David Goggins. I just want to be able to like just touch it every now and then. Just like dip my toe in the water a little
See
bit.
what's up.
Just to know that. Just so I still know how it feels.
just give the beast a little steak.
Yeah, that's right.
Every now and
That's
again,
right.
you don't feed him too
That's
much.
something
And
you
I-
don't see from
and
the new
I think
generation.
that's why-
I'm gonna be honest.
I think that's why I gravitate towards like darker characters, like you watch like The Walking Dead, and whenever Rick's character, I don't know if you watched The Walking Dead,
Yeah, I did.
but the one season where I forget which season it is, where he says this is not a democracy, and like when he really goes down that dark path of like,
it's before
fucking
the end of
shit
season
up.
3. Yeah.
and like
Yeah.
Shane's character, like the super dark characters like that in shows, or like in Supernatural, whenever I guess you guys haven't watched that, but like there's some really dark.
I watched up until Castiel said he was God, and I'm like, okay. this is
Okay, so
great.
before that, I think it was well, it might have been before, like right after the Mark of Cain with
Okay, yeah,
So whenever he gets the Mark of Cain, when Dean gets the Mark of Cain, and
Yeah.
he becomes a demon,
yeah.
and like those fucking characters, like I'm so drawn to those characters, like a very good character, like a very wholesome character that can let that dark side creep out,
the anti-hero.
the anti-hero, and I'm so
Yeah.
drawn to that, and I think that's why I relate to it so much, because I like to dip my toe in that darkness a little bit, and like even like whenever, like I said, like I ride down the road by myself and I'm listening to the fucking dark music.
Are you? Let me ask you a personal question. Are you lonely?
I'm not.
No. Do you feel like? Is there anybody in your life that fulfills that dark, like that you can, that hard darkness that you feel that need to?
You need somebody to feel that. Yeah, you definitely need somebody
don't
to
know.
feel that. Because if it never gets touched, then
That maybe why
it's
you're
seeping back there.
you're like aching for it with the music and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
maybe I maybe there's not a person, but maybe I don't want there to be.
Yeah.
Maybe it's kind of nice to feel that like sense of aloneness. I guess
Alone.
that is like part of the darkness that I like to touch and kind of just like dip my toe in.
Yeah.
Because that's dark. I mean, being alone is a dark thing
Yeah.
for some people.
It
you know?
is. We all. I feel like we all need to feel like. I think every human being needs to feel like what it feels like to be alone, because it's a possibility. You
If-
know, like we at least need to feel that.
If you're in bad company when you're alone, then you need to change.
Yeah, I've never been disappointed in the people I've hung out with. You know, because I feel like you are who you hang out with.
Say that again. Say it again.
if you feel like you're in bad company when you're all by yourself, if you're not comfortable with that, then I feel like there's something in your life that needs to change.
Of course. Yeah, definitely.
Now, on the flip side, if you can't be with people without feeling uncomfortable, having like some crazy social anxiety,
something needs to change.
Something needs to change too. Yeah,
because I crave being alone more than anything.
Right.
You know, but like I've got to realize I've got a family and I've got kids, and you know, like, I've got to spend time with them. They need to see their father.
One thing I see from a lot of men from your generation is a lack to want to be home. So, like, I see a lot of guys, and even more so.
Before we get into this, can we take a piss?
Yeah, let's do that.
We're going to go down a rabbit hole in this one.
Yeah. We are. So, let's, we'll be back, guys.
Let's take a quick piss break. We'll be back, guys.
I mean, a great title. Rich Men North of Richmond.
Yeah.
I mean, like, just studying the cadence of that. Like, I mean, it works.
You know what I appreciate?
You got a beer to open?
You said what?
You got a beer
I
open?
don't.
Well, we can be live right now. I mean, you kind of started off with the Richmond North of Richmond.
I kind of want to talk about
We're
that
live
a little bit. Yeah. What I love about that whole thing. What's the guy's name?
Oliver Anthony.
Well, that was his grandfather's name. His name is like something Lugris, like Chris. He goes by Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Lugris or something like that. Or
Spotify's Oliver Anthony Music. I don't know.
Well, that's what. Like that was his grandfather's name, and he was given an ode to his grandfather and Appalachia, like that
cool.
raised him. Yeah,
that's cool.
So yeah, like his name, like it goes by Oliver Anthony. He's like, you can call me Oliver, you can call me Chris, but
Oliver, you can call me Anthony.
Yeah,
yeah. I think it shows. I'm not like the biggest country music fan, but I do appreciate like the classic style of country, like the Johnny Cash, like the old school country.
I like music with feeling.
Yeah, it's
I don't care if it's rap.
Thank you.
If you feel it and it's real, I like it.
I think that's what it is that we're moving towards such a technical side of music of like electronics and like, you know, dubstep's made a push in the late 2000s. It's getting kind of crazy.
Wait for it.
Wait for the drop, bruh.
Wait for it.
But you start to see a guy like Oliver Anthony, is that his name? And he's
Chris something, yeah.
Yeah, he's like super authentic. Like he brings back the feel of music. And I think even for me, who like someone who I don't really care for too much country music. I like Southern rock and like blues and shit. But country music, I'm not like the biggest fan of. I still love to see it because it brings the human aspect back to music. And I love that shit, dude.
Yeah, it's just dude in his fucking Dobra.
Yeah.
Out in the damn.
Fucking jamming,
out
dude.
in the front porch.
Singing what he feels.
He is a Laura Lynn version of Tyler Childers, though.
I can see it. I immediately thought something similar.
That's what my wife told me.
The Laura Lynn.
Tyler
the great
Valdez,
Valdy.
Derek Zoolander version of Oliver Anthony.
Okay, so what's the deal with
both?
Both
are good.
Yeah. What's the new video?
So Tyler Childers put out like a
gay minor video.
I heard it on the
Minor's
Heavy
with an
D,
E.
the Heavy D podcast.
I saw.
I got his response.
That seems off brand.
I still like his music.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah, no.
That's good. That's a good take. That's a good take.
I
still like his music.
Yeah,
that's good.
No, yeah. He's got a good sound.
Did you see what's his name? Kid Rock with the Bud Light.
Oh, that's funny.
Got caught on camera. It's like, damn it. See, it's like
he would have gotten away with it if it went for the fucking meddling kids.
The meddling kids. Oh,
how do you like? Why do you desire the taste of Bud Light? Like that's why I didn't think it was.
Maybe it's like the girls that R. Kelly's with.
Yeah.
You know, piss. Sorry.
God dang it.
Yeah, I think it's just.
I'm so upset that y'all didn't see that coming. Have you heard R. Kelly's new stuff?
From the jail cell block C?
I heard you guys talk about it on the.
Oh my God!
I haven't. You've talked about it. Yeah, I haven't.
It's so funny.
I haven't pulled it up.
I'll play it for right now.
Please do.
Yeah, but that shit. I don't know. I do like the stuff I'm feeling, and this is definitely some stuff I'm feeling. I forget the name of this song. Let's see if I can find it.
Do you ever feel weird listening to like Michael Jackson at all?
Oh no.
Why not?
He's king of pop.
He was the king of pop. I agree.
Yeah.
But does it feel weird when like you think that like, damn, this dude probably like touched on little kids? He probably did.
I don't.
It makes it a little weird, right?
No, it's like I really don't think he did.
Why not?
I mean, now there was the pretty detailed, odd description of the boy had of his penis, But like, I think
I don't know.
I like he said it was like a leopard. It was like spotted, and I could see that being like
His penis?
Yeah, it was like a spotted penis,
Look, dude.
And he got his skin bleached.
Michael
so I could
Jackson
see
is having
things getting
kids
a little,
over at his house, bro. That
He
ain't
ne-
good.
like, dude,
I
he-
like the music too. Don't go. Also
he was
Bill Cosby on me.
mentally. Okay. Well, what I'm saying is, money can buy you almost everything, and he was trying to buy a childhood that he never had.
That's exact. He's a damaged dude. He's a
Yeah.
damaged person.
Yeah.
We know it. We can see it.
Now, I don't.
He went Goggins early.
Huh.
He went Goggins early.
Huh.
What do you mean?
He went like full into like his dad made him buy into the whole. I'm all in on music.
Oh yeah.
Very, very
Tiger
young.
Woods, same way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, is that okay?
The Ball brothers.
Maybe,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Ball brothers.
Yeah.
Dude, the pressure on Lonzo Ball must have been outrageous.
The first brother.
But dude, his
Yeah.
dad talked him into. Did he get drafted first round? Yeah, he had to get drafted first round.
think so.
Melo
Yeah.
and Lonzo did.
No, yeah, he talked so much. He talked them
Who was
into a
Lonzo
first round
drafted
pick.
by the Pelicans?
Lonzo was drafted by the Lakers.
He was drafted by the Lakers? I thought he got
Yes.
traded to the
He
Lakers.
got traded to the.
Bulls.
No, he might be at the Bulls now,
He's
but he
at
got
the Bulls
traded to
now.
the Pelicans.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Melo obviously went to.
Who's
Charlotte.
on the, okay. What's the third brother?
I'm pretty sure he.
I don't know. He didn't make the NBA.
I'm pretty
Okay, so
sure the
Lonzo got
Pelicans drafted Lonzo.
He got drafted by the Pelicans. Got
Oh, he
to
got
the
traded to the Lakers. Yeah,
he got
you
traded to the
got
Lakers.
right. Yeah,
also,
yeah.
so
And
you're
then now he's
right.
at the Bulls because
Okay, yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah,
yeah, I've got a.
that's right.
Thank you, Brent.
Ooh, no,
Thank you.
I think it might have been the Lakers because
No, he got drafted to the Lakers.
Yeah,
he went to
I
the
think
Lakers.
You're not confident at all. You
No,
just changed
no,
your
no,
answer
no,
three times.
no, because I have a
Nah,
rookie
that's
card.
fair,
I've got a
Brian.
Lonzo Ball rookie card.
He went to the Lakers.
And
he was
it's
supposed to
a-
be the face of the franchise for the Lakers, and
it's a
LeBron came and was
Lakers.
like, "Get the fuck out of here. You're
Yeah.
a bum. Go to the Pelicans."
Face
yeah.
of the franchise.
No, you're right. It's all coming back to me now.
Yeah, no, because I've got
Yeah.
he's one of the.
Yeah.
I got a PSA 10.
He was supposed to be.
Lonzo Ball
He was
Lakers.
supposed to save the Lakers, and LeBron came and was like, "Get the fuck out of here."
Yeah, he went to the Lakers.
Yeah. And then went to the Pelicans
LeBron's
with
so good, man.
Zion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
So yeah, the book.
Like Angelo, that's the other one.
Okay.
So it's about it's about a guy who, he works at a cybersecurity place, but he's really into text-based gaming, like text-based games, and he just sees that the trend of games are going, graphics and this detailed reality. So he finally just leaves somewhat of a family business of the cybersecurity and creates his own. He pursues his dream to create a like basically a text-based VR game. Very low budget, low graphics things, but he's his talent is in coding.
Okay.
So he pretty much develops a self-learning, AI code that now granted I was working on this before Free Guy came out, so it's not as cool. But anyway, he creates a self-learning AI code and that adapts to you. And game's called Marco Polo. It's one of the first ones it's the only one he made before he got a brain tumor and died.
Damn.
And the mom can't take it. The boy, he's 6 years old, 7 years old. Boy, the mom can't take it. So she kills herself. He comes home from school, sees a really bloody version of his mom in the bath, or in the bathroom, kitchen table, wherever I want to put it. And it was in the bathroom, but I'm leaning more toward the kitchen now. Then he goes to his aunt. Does that story sound familiar? Harry Potter, Luke Skywalker. Parents died. Goes.
Okay. Is that number 2 on the? We started earlier on this podcast about talking about these movie stories.
Well, see, that's more of that's the hero's journey.
Okay.
Yes, that's kind of different. But like Lord of the Rings,
right?
The Hobbit,
take the ring to Mordor. Yeah, that's the journey.
Yeah, so this is more of a hero's journey kind of thing. So he gets shipped off.
Odysseus.
Yep.
Yes, if you will.
As I said, Homer started it all.
Yeah.
So anyway, he went and so he goes to his aunt's, and now his aunt married into the cybersecurity company, Blackthorn Security. So the rich investor antagonist is obviously her father-in-law, but she don't want nothing to really do with him, so she ships him off to a boarding school in Spain, and so 10 years pass, and he comes back home. He gets his, he's trying to get a job, and like he doesn't, he knows code and stuff like that, but he really just wants to work at like just a game shop. Well, he goes in there, and the guy's looking at his application and sees his last name. He's like, "Oh yeah, David, like David Games." This guy's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And he goes and he was like, "Yeah, David Games. I mean, it's got to be." So he was like, "Who was your dad?" Then he names his dad. He was like, "Oh, that is my dad." He had no idea that his dad created this game. And so he goes home, looks it up, downloads it, starts playing it, and then it's called. And that's the first memory he has with his dad. He doesn't have many, but it was playing Marco Polo outside. That's how they played hide and seek. And the game's called Marco Polo, and it comes back to him. So then he puts on the headset and everything, and he's surrounded by white, and there's this black dot. It's like pulsating, as it sees him just going crazy. And then a game called Marco Polo. So he says, Marco. And then it changes. The game adapts to him and what he's thinking. So obviously it can get really dark, and then there's a chest that appears, or a door that appears, and then in that door you open the door and there's a challenge, and then each challenge you get what's called I'm calling an echo coin, and it is a crypto coin that can bind itself in your wallet to any crypto and mimic any crypto coin. So this obviously becomes the most valuable, easily mined. So now he's faced with a dilemma, do I enjoy this game or do I push it to the next level? Mm-hmm. And like, let my dad's legacy, be more than what it was. Mm-hmm. Then, so yada yada. Long story short, that gets the attention of, Henry Blackthorn, that owns Blackthorn Security. So he's trying to woo, or not woo, but like win this guy, the son over, because he's wanting, but he's wanting this, but it was programmed in such a way that he's the only one that has access to these echo coins. But then at the end of it, yada, 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 it goes to the end, and the twist is he goes, and I don't want to bore you with all the story arcs and everything, but it's going to end with him doing the final challenge, and he's in the white, he's in the black dot, and then
I love shit like that, dude.
And he sees a stranger, and then he's freaking out. And he's freaking out,
kind of like Interstellar.
Yeah, he's freaking out, but so he's the black dot that's freaking out.
Comp.
Yeah, nice comp, bro.
And then
have you ever seen Interstellar?
Oh yeah,
Dude.
That's arguably the greatest science fiction movie ever made.
That's what they say.
And
scientists have agreed.
Yeah, no, but yeah, he's the black dot, but then and I don't mind telling you guys this because you've earned the twist if you listen to the podcast.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, no, that's gonna be it. But then the double twist is like, who the fuck was the first black dot?
Yeah. Oh man, that's where it gets weird.
Yeah,
dude, I've recently watched the movie. Did we talk about it on the last podcast about High Tension?
Yeah, I think the last 2 podcasts.
It's definitely the last podcast, dude. I don't know if you don't like horror movies, do you?
It depends on what kind of horror it is. I have to have a story. I have to have a story. If I have a story and a character build,
I've always said the best horror movies are thrillers, disguised as horror movies, like Silence of the Lambs. That's a thriller.
Yeah, The Shining.
Yeah, The Shining, a thriller. But their disguise is like
Psycho's a slasher. That's one of the greatest.
Yeah,
it's more of a thriller, I guess.
It's thriller slasher. Like all the greatest horror movies, it seems they kind of have. Like if you want to make a legit horror movie, you cut the shit, make it a thriller. Keep them on edge. There's no market for horror movies these days.
Right.
And it's weird because I feel like there's people out there who want to see horror movies.
Yeah,
it's weird to not see a horror movie or a comedy movie award inside of the Oscars. It's like, why are we really that pretentious? Yes. To where everything has to be The Godfather? Like, why can't we we
at least have a category.
We give the nod to animation. Why can't we give the nod to horror movies, comedy films?
Have you watched Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
Those are really good animated movies. I don't know if you watched the new one, Across the Spider-Verse, but
yeah, no, I didn't finish the newest one, but no, Disney's really lost me with this multiverse thing.
Really?
Yeah,
that kind of surprised me that lost you.
Yeah, I mean because what it is, it's lazy writing.
That's exactly what it is.
And
sadly,
what do you mean?
Disney's a fucking cash grab.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Disney has a monopoly on kind of like cinema at this point. It feels like
the obligatory scene of the point of no return or a fate worse than death would be it's completely ruined and off the table when you have a multiverse because when you have
this Miles Morales died or
because when was it Aristotle that just studied he studied or it might have been Socrates that they just studied all of the tragedies of Athens, and he realized that people love empathy and pity. Like they want a character they can relate to and feel sorry for.
Is that number 3 on your list of writing stories? The ups and downs.
Oh no! Like I don't want to butcher it, but yeah, Kurt Vonnegut, 5 Story Types. He's hilarious.
That stuck with me when you said that.
He wrote Slaughterhouse. He wrote Slaughterhouse 5 too. It's pretty good. That's a pretty good short story.
Okay.
And it's like a novella.
What about Slaughter? Is there like a Slaughterhouse 4, 3, 2, and 1?
No, it's just Slaughterhouse 5.
Now.
Yeah, it's like Yeah, it's a good book. It's just about Vietnam.
It's John Five's brother.
Do you get into war movies or like war?
Yeah, yeah.
There's something about war that I can't get into.
Particularly modern stuff, not so much.
Have you seen Fury? That's a good.
I started it.
Good.
I started it, but I need to finish it because I knew Shia LaBeouf really invested. He put a lot into that.
I mean, Michael Pena and John Bernthal, Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
the cast is loaded, man.
Dude, the more and more, I need to watch John Bernthal's podcast. Does he have a podcast?
It's good. Yeah, watch the one with Shia LaBeouf.
I see the shorts.
Watch the one with Shia LaBeouf.
I want to watch this guy's podcast.
Watch the one with Shia LaBeouf.
He's
you would
an
not be disappointed.
Dude. Yeah, but he didn't like shower. He didn't like shower for like a month or two.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah,
you need to watch the podcast with him and John Bernthal.
Yeah,
it gets dark, man. It's really fucking good.
Yeah, no, I like.
Have you watched that yet?
I haven't.
It's good.
But like, I love
a lot of good things.
I love medieval stuff, like basically pre gunpowder.
It's the honor and the loyalty that you like.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
you don't really care for like the time. I mean, you may care for the time, but I think that what you're looking for is like the honor, the loyalty, the stoicism.
Yeah, because
those guys
that was another thing Stephen Pressfield said in the Warrior Ethos is he doesn't like the modern warrior demasculates and almost like insults the enemy, but that didn't that wasn't the case with the Spartans, or I mean, they almost like it was an honor to die in their hand.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, of course,
we're so far removed from that.
Well, I mean, then you look at what happened at and when the Pope in the early 1500s, he drew the line on the globe. He said the English church, they could have this part of the globe. The Spanish church could have this part of the globe. And like, then you look at it's so interesting to see how the two churches strategically went to the New World. It was kind of cool to see how that worked out and how that looks differently in modern culture, because Spanish culture is very, very much heavily in Catholicism, so they held on to the tradition a little bit more, whereas we still have Catholicism, but it didn't take us long to start debating and disagreeing and start having a bunch of
branching off.
Branches. But they pretty much just stayed core to to what was originally indoctrinated to them. But but when you look at how, like, they had the difficult task because we had the Indians or Native Americans, but they had the Mayans and Aztecs.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you've got to conquer that.
Dude, I really hate to change the subject, but I've went 3 podcasts without talking to you about, are we in a simulation?
Oh, man. I don't know that we have the time to get into this.
That's my question. It's like, I've been wanting to bring this up since day one, and it's like, scientists say that's the most probable. If they had a bet, if most scientists bet, and we all agree that, like, all scientists know more than we know. So it's like, and they tend to bet on,
but they don't know about UPS, the details of UPS barcode system.
They don't.
They
don't.
Don't sell yourself short.
But there's something there when they say that, when they all come as a consensus, that they say that the most probable outcome is that we are in a simulation. And maybe that, obviously that takes away from religion, which you've been, through your life, you've been.
I'm coming back to it.
Coming back towards religion. I think it's the tradition for you.
So
it's bringing you back.
So what it is, and I know we gotta close it off, but Benjamin Franklin says, I don't see how any intelligent man or any intellectual can prescribe to religion as truth, but you cannot deny the benefits of aligning yourself with a like-minded body of believers.
I'm good with that. I really like that. I think that's what we've not to make it the Truman Show experience, but that's really what we wanted to bring on the podcast, like just a difference of beliefs.
And I'm not saying like I'm going to be a Christian, but I'll probably attend a church. Now, will I be the easiest member in the small?
Right now, definitely not.
But I'll be respectful. You know what I mean? Like I'm not.
Of course you
know,
will. You're not here to step on any toes. If you're there, you're just sitting back.
But I'm not joining a church. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to be respectful. Because I don't believe that. I don't think. You know, I just don't. But I think you need to serve the laws of your culture, and for better or for worse, and in our culture, church is important.
I think there definitely is some importance when it comes to church, because we all see someone like Anne Margaret. Shout out Anne Margaret.
Shout out Granny's Ghouls.
Granny's Ghouls, you know. Is there really a better role model than someone who...
Such a pure person.
Such a pure person. If every religious person was like Anne Margaret, it'd be over with. We all would be.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, we'd all be on board.
We all would be... I mean, it would be outrageously one-sided.
But if followers are if bad followers are the reason you don't subscribe to Christianity, then I would reconsider it. Because I think you have to have a better reason, you know, than that. Because if they're right, you're screwed.
Could you imagine if they're right?
But I don't think they're right. But I can go another 3 hours to tell you why.
Yeah,
I mean,
we are a spinning sphere in space. How can you dismiss any religion, regardless of where you're at? You know?
So Martin Luther had a quote. He said, it'll take, scientists will eventually climb the mountain and get to the top of trying to figure out the origin of the universe. Mm-hmm. And they're going to see theologians who've been sitting there all along. And the thing about the simulation theory is who created the simulation?
That's the problem.
So, like,
maybe simulation theory is real.
If you can subscribe to, like, the people that are dismissing religion.
What if it's Jesus Christ or God
and deity,
in a Christianity Christianity way?
Yeah, like, if you can dismiss that.
Yeah.
And, like, say, religion's stupid, but you can subscribe to a simulation theory.
Yeah.
And expect me to respect what you have to say while you're dismissing the
and
religion.
Vice versa, though.
It's the same. Yeah,
it's the same shit.
It's the same thing.
I agree, but I feel like you're kind of shitting on the people who are thinking outside the box more than the people who are thinking inside the box. If that makes sense.
No, I think he's saying the people who think outside the box, it's the same fucking box.
Yeah.
Okay,
the alt left
yeah,
and the alt right is the same
yeah,
person.
Yeah, okay,
same box.
Yeah, I agree.
I think so. What if, say that the simulation theory is real or whatever, or it's religion, it's all the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what you're alluding to,
right?
Yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah.
Whether it's religion that we're created by or a person,
God could be the person who created the simulation,
right? So, say I've heard this theory of whenever we pass away and after eventually this world will be long gone and then the world starts again, right? The world is remade, whether that's through God or a simulation or whatever, and then we kind of live another life. What if this is our 50th life or infinite life, whatever number this is? Would you be interested in having the knowledge and seeing into the past life?
Oh yeah.
Why?
No, so there are some yogis that claim they can do that. You can get to a meditative state where you can see the previous lives.
Do you think that would devalue your current life?
No, I think it enhances it because you value it. You cherish it a little bit more, I think. even though one could argue that, if you're just doing, like if this is your only life, you only live once, you need to really cherish it. But like, I don't know, it's just another color. It's just another painting, and like, let's make this painting the best painting we can possibly make it.
And then you would have more knowledge to make the next painting better.
Yeah. So like,
Right.
I think really because like when I say religion, I mean, you guys think we're talking about Christianity, but like this
We're
really,
talking about all religion.
Yeah. But this really falls along the lines of Sanatana Dharma, which is
What's that?
Basically reincarnation.
Okay.
That like the goal is like transcendentalism, not the 1800s movements, but like the goal of like reaching enlightenment, and where your cycle is over, you've learned everything there is to learn. And that's going to be one of that's on my list is it's called The Life of a Yogi, and I don't even ask me to pronounce his name, but yeah, it was written in like the 20s or 30s, and like, dude, it was
I like that.
it was good. And basically, people would go to this mountain and basically unload all of their knowledge that they learned in the past life. So you can come to that mountain and meditate and like receive that knowledge.
I think there's definitely something to be said about. Isn't there something between like what you're saying is there's some kind of current or some kind of something that is passed on through lives, like there's some kind of energy that's.
Could it be the memory of our DNA? You know what I mean? Like our ancestors.
What is it? There's got to be something because there's
definitely some spiritual shit that's going on there.
Oh yeah, but like I said, we are a spinning sphere in space.
We're
a spinning sphere in space. I can't even. I tried. And but seriously though, like you can't rule out anything, whether it's simulation theory, whether it's Noah's brought all the different types of animals in and rode the fucking waves, and
yeah, it's crazy.
Is that really any goofier than like simulation theory? I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean,
like the whole.
There was definitely a flood. Like everybody.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Yeah, like
every culture talks about a great flood. There's no doubt there's a great flood. I believe that 100%, and it definitely fits into even like every culture. Like I said, like the Koreans, they talk about a great flood in a different way. We talk about it in like the Noah's Ark way, but I mean, you'd have to look deep into other cultures as far as what they believe. But
what do you think about like the sacred texts of religions that are far ahead of science when they were written, and then whenever they discover it, they're like, dude, this book has it. So in the Quran, there it said Allah separates the waters. He will separate the waters with from east to west. I don't know the exact quote, but then he separates the waters by color, and you're like, okay, yeah,
okay.
But then you realize that that's a real thing, and they had no ship.
Shit gets weird,
or
right?
Anything, so they had no way of knowing that. So like, it's where the Atlantic and the Pacific meet. It is crazy. You got like dark blue and like muddy brown, and it is a clear, distinct line.
Really?
Yeah, and it separates based on like, I think it's the saltwater content. But I mean, there's an explanation for it. But like the Quran talks about
there's
that.
an explanation for it.
Yeah, no, but
how convenient.
Yeah, no, like the Quran said that there was that line there. So like that's the kind of, because like they would have,
scientists came up with some shit to make you not believe in religion.
Well, like they didn't know that was there. So like, how did they know that? Another one is
They couldn't just fucking go out there and see it.
Yeah, so I'm going to give you another one with the Bible. So in Genesis where it said in Genesis 1 where it said the greater light was to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. Well, they didn't think, so obviously you think the greater as being the biggest, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't discover that the sun was bigger than the moon until 1800s.
I mean, how could you?
Yeah, they thought
they're the same size.
Yes,
Okay,
they thought
they're the same size. They're the same distance
Well,
apart.
no.
Why would
They
be that way?
are not the same distance apart.
Of course they're not. But like when you like in
But
that
yeah,
time,
But
you
see the moon.
you see the moon, you see the sun,
So
they're the
much
same
bigger,
size.
yeah.
You're like,
and
okay,
it was
we're the center of the
harvest moon.
universe.
Yeah.
The harvest moon's like that big in the sky,
Yeah, it's
and
huge.
the sun's like
Oh, true.
little dot.
So-
Yeah.
yeah. So they thought for the longest time that was the biggest, the greatest, and so they kind of,
Let's write that backwards.
called that one. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah. They changed the wording of day and night.
Yeah.
What do you think the biggest, like, we've seen, like I said, we brought up Anne Margaret earlier, and you won't, and this is the rights argument with this, is like, Anne Margaret is the perfect person when it comes to, like, morally just being a great person. And that comes from religion. But, like, there's so much bad that comes from religion, too, where it's like, how do you distinguish the two? Like, how do you say there's Anne Margaret and there's the person who's trying to keep up with the Joneses and is judging you with every move you make?
And money laundering,
Money,
using
the
churches to
whole
launder
thing.
money.
The whole thing. Where Anne Margaret's a pure human being
Yeah,
and is an example of what good religion can bring to someone, to where it even rubs off on you as an individual, where when you hang out with Anne Margaret, you're like, damn, man. Anne Margaret, look, I'm like, all shit aside, Anne Margaret looked at me and goes, Heather said some shit about whatever, some crazy whatever local news was going on, and Anne Margaret looked at me and goes, he's coming back. Whether you like it or not, he's coming back. And I was like, I got chills a little bit. I was like, damn, what if like, because I'm not the guy who's going to represent the whole Jesus Christ movement. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you, he's coming back. It's like, God, I got a little, like, hairs raised on my back. I'm like, oh, man, what if?
yeah. No,
I mean, we are a spinning sphere in space.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you. I tried hard on that. How do you say that he's coming back as any weirder than what we are living right now? Does that make sense? Like, we are weird. Like, our existence is weird enough.
So let's talk about him coming back for a second.
Okay.
Can we go there?
Sure.
He's just
I'm
hanging
ready
on
to
for
go-
dear
I'm ready
life.
to go to bed.
Okay, we can close this
Yeah.
out, but
That'd be
me
great.
and you can hang out afterwards because I got some shit I want to talk to you about.
And Margaret, you win today.
Yeah. but
I'm
next time.
coming back, and we're going to talk about
Yeah.
what it looks like when he comes back.
Okay, we'll talk about that. Let's talk about it off air because
Okay.
I'm excited about this.
It's been a good podcast, guys.
Dude, it's been
Thank
phenomenal.
you, gentlemen.
The Crabman, you know you're
Cheers,
a fan
fellas.
favorite, man. Cheers to you.
Always will
Brian,
be.
thank you for picking up my slack in this podcast. I feel like I've
It's been good, man.
had a lot of
I've been sitting
beers
here, man. Just sitting
today.
here listening. Just sitting here listening.
We didn't
talking.
talk any sports, I feel like. I mean, we talked a little bit like Sean O'Malley, Sterling, but
Just a little, just sitting here.
I ate the
talking,
crow. I'll admit it. I was wrong. Okay, it's Sean O'Malley's time. I knew he was gonna be a champion, but I thought it was gonna come a little later. I thought Sterling was in his prime. I thought Sean O'Malley. I thought that Dana White kind of rushed him along, but it's his time. Credit where credit's due. He's that guy. Shout out to the fucking casuals because they hated on Sterling, but that's kind of the reason I was pulling for Sterling mostly is because. Sorry, I don't mean to go on a tangent here, but It's fun to see. It's fun to see. Sorry. Cheers, guys.
Cheers,
I'm done rambling.
See ya.
It's been fun. Love you guys.